Before we start, I'm looking to buy some tea for me and friends to enjoy. Any shops you suggest? 15 months.
my God! Come!
Ease on down. Ease on, down the road. Ease on down. Ease on, down the road. Hive Wed Week.
It's happening. Oh dear, it's happening. Oh. I am nervous. However, fortunately, I'm not going to be alone. I pinged the Norfolk Wizard game server. We have a Discord server for it that we use. And guess what, you guys? I managed to get a bunch of them to come in and hang out with me as we're doing the debut watch-along. Right now, confirmed, I've got Odoroshi, who plays Sybil. I've got Hulky Crow, who plays Bill. And I've got Speaker D, our game master. So we're going to be hanging out with them both before and during the debut. I'm excited. There's such fantastic people to hang out with. I haven't heard back from Erndil. I think Erndil is busy. I think he's working. I think he's a reasonable man. Hello, Kazrak. I am nervous, though. The waiting room is already up. Let me pull it up and show you all.
Hi, Fred. Do you have a favorite black tea? I kind of only drink chai, but I do want to branch out and try other teas.
Black tea is pretty versatile. It's diverse, is the word I'm looking for. I'd say black tea depends on my mood. The black tea that I end up going to the most is probably Assam. Assam is super versatile. You can add cream and sugar to your heart's content. So I'd say if you want a nice baseline tea, Assam. But if you want something real smoky, Lapsang Souchong gets slept on. Let me see. I'm pulling it up. Oh, I'm so nervous.
Hey Fred, you mentioned recently enjoying Tip. Is that because they have not one but 3 episodes about 911?
Wait, they do? Jesus, I have not really dug into it, into those. But look, you guys want to see official new art of Parker? Are you ready for this? You ready? You ready to see him in all his glory? Here he is. Hey, don't bet me. Oh, I forgot. Mix it up. Could we refund Cogfather? I always forget something. But yes, Parker. It's very fun seeing the people who have gone and listened to the episodes but haven't seen them in the comments. They're like, oh, you guys, like, there's a lot of you guys aren't ready. Yeah, you want to see what Alpha Busa put as the description? Blonde twink played by Down the Rabbit Hole guy gets man rock hard. Real. Piece of shit. He knows. Twink played by Twink. They definitely designed the character to look like me, right? Like, I gave the concept of the character. I made him bookish, and but he's like an antiquarian, right? He's an archaeologist. Very like they just kind of decided to design him kind of like me. Although, you know who I think he looks even more like? He looks like Milo from, it looks like Milo from Atlantis. The Disney Atlantis. You guys see that? I think I just look like Milo. I think I just look like Milo. But yeah, I think that it's very inspired by Milo. Fred post-Twink death. That's fine by me. Look, if I look like Milo when Twink death hits me, I'll be happy. Right? I would say like Twink death, hear me out. Twink death is not an end, it's a beginning. It opens up new avenues, new doors. It is its own beauty. Twold. Look at Bowie. Yeah, like it is its own thing. Yeah, David Bowie. That's a really good example. Cope? That's not fucking Cope. Are you kidding me? What once has twunk may never die.
That which times TL arrived TL.
Yeah.
Comfy.
That which is twink may eternal
Yes,
lie.
I came back for seconds 21 times in fact.
And in strange eons, even twink death may die. You came back for 21 seconds. God bless you. Thank you very much, Narthexwolf, for the 21 months, and Cheese for the 10 months. Also, Butlerian Jihad now for the 300 bits. Finn the Witch for 20 months. Kezrek for 15 months. Message Effect for the 20... Wait. Oh, that was a message of... It usually puts the name on top. I thought that was like a name of a person. No, it's Zumba Fitness that did a message effect. Oh my god. Why would they format it like that? That's homophobic. I don't care if it's not Pride Month anymore. That's homophobic. Timothy Snyder, thank you for the 44 months. Bobcat Angel for the 14. Fate827 for the 15. And Valken for the bits. For the 300 bits. Thank you very much. Hunter the Parenting is very, very good. Very, very, very good. Would hard recommend. Hello, Thanatos. The squibby emo from Grimmy is so cute. Grimmy is such a sweetheart. The Grim Reaper was right next to David Bowie, and he was like, no, not yet. Gotta finish this album. Hey. Hey. I need to get something plugged in, probably. I wanted to hang out with Grimmy more. Yeah, it's my Twitch UI for the message effects. Yeah, that's on my end. That's my problem to deal with, that Twitch has granted me. Gotta finish this Jesus, Captus. How you doing, Hans? The margins of a 99 pence blender are 29 pounds in the red, you oil barrel. Why are you looking for a blender in the 99p store? God, Hunter the Parenting is so good if you guys have not seen it yet. / listened. I am the great and mighty Kevin. That is Erndil that plays Kevin, by the way, our basketball mage. So hey guys, I may have discovered a new Fredcore game. I'm starting to understand what all of you mean when you describe something as Fredcore. This morning, as I was waking up, I decided to check out some stuff, and I discovered a game. A game that is currently in development, has been in development for a couple of years now, called The Forever Winter. And I am fascinated. Who here has heard of The Forever Winter? The Forever Winter. In The Forever Winter, you play not as a combatant, but as a scavenger on a battlefield, and two sides are constantly fighting one another. The concept is like imagine there is a war happening around you. The comparison I saw a YouTuber make was to that one scene in Children of Men where the main character is like dodging two warring factions. Yeah, it's the sort of setting with it sort of feels World War I. It has that vibe to it. Oh, it is so good. No, this War of Mine was a management game. This is a third-person co-op game. And something I appreciate is that they are deliberately trying to make you not be the hero. Let me show you. Let me show you. Because it looks so cool. And it looks gorgeous, too. Here, look at this. Here, we'll make it bigger. This has me, like, shaking. I want this so much. You must do your thesis, which is falling apart. Aw. Good, Ika Pika. Good. But look at this. I'm excited. This trailer dropped a month ago.
War, famine, destruction, death. The year is 20XX. Welcome to the future. The Forever Winter is a 4-player sci-fi tactical survival horror shooter that takes place in a future where massive armies are skinning the bones of our once beautiful Earth.
This is so up my alley.
You are a scavenger, lovingly referred to as a scav. Within this combat ecosystem, you assume the role of looter and survivor. Trapped between two warring military factions of the future, each with their own objectives. Outgunned, undersupplied, and constantly under attack, you must rely on cooperation and cunning to survive even minor enemy contact. Situational awareness is key in this world. Stop, look, and listen. Trigger discipline will save your life. A target missed is a bullet wasted, and not every battle is one worth fighting. Only kill what you can loot and get away with. Every time you open fire, you are ringing the dinner bell. Make it worth it.
I am so into literally everything about this. Literally everything about this. There is no part of this that I do not love. POV, you just installed Foxhole during 1.14 and you queue for Reaver's Pass. No, it's like decrepit cityscapes and also being small in a large world. Those are like themes I love. The visual style is beautiful. It's like, it's gray but interesting. It has 90s sci-fi vibes. Timothy, shut the Shh. Shh. There's an M1 Abrams tank covered in corpses. Yeah.
Welcome home, deep down in the guts of the city. Refugees seek shelter here, and they choose your level because you have one of the few things that matter. Water. H2O brings traders, shops, and allied mercenaries that have your six. If you want to survive, you'll need to pick up jobs from the two warring factions. Be smart about the jobs you take. The more a faction controls a sector, the more heavy units they will deploy, and the more dangerous it becomes. The more jobs you do, the more jobs you'll get. And the longer you'll keep everyone alive. No one gets by in this world all on their own, so don't be afraid to help others when you can. Donation stations are made available where high-level vets can share gear with low-level baby scavs. You were in their shoes once too.
That's so
Here you
cool.
can customize.
I love, like, literally, this game has everything. It has altruism mechanics. Right? Like, helping new players. That's so good. This is just Tarkov? Fuck no. Are you kidding me?
Is your rig, an innovative modular platform that grants you advanced abilities. Pneumatic jump allows you to quickly traverse rough terrain and reach hard-to-get drops. Turrets allow you to shred, at least for a short time. And scanners allow you to scout ahead to plan your route. You want guns? You've got them.
No, this is not a PvP game, to my knowledge. This is PvE, purely. Like, it's co-op. Purely co-op.
Modify and upgrade your firearms for the jobs you take. Always remember, the more gear and ammo you bring in, the less you can carry out. So spec accordingly. Once you're kitted up, it's time to enter the macro city of Lost Angels.
Yeah, this isn't PvP. This isn't PvE. This is PvEVE. Yeah, because there are two sides fighting each other dynamically on the battlefield, and you are trying to slip in when they are not fighting or while they're distracted. And you can distract them with one another. Because one thing that I learned about this game is that the Forever Winter has their AI, right? It has an AI director, which is sort of controlling everything on the battlefield. And one important part of these factions' AI is their threat acquisition. So let's suppose a dude is chasing you, a scavenger, and then an enemy patrol shows up. Guess who they're going to target first? They're going to leave you, and they're going to target the patrol. So you can lead enemies into patrols or lure them, or wait for them to engage one another, and while they're engaged, you can fight, or you can start scavenging, or you can wait for them to finish fighting each other, and then if they're picked off and if they're weakened enough, you might be able to finish them off and then start looting the battlefield. Yeah, Captus, this has the good, the bad, and the ugly vibes, where there's like a war raging around you and you're just existing in its world. Yeah, it's awesome.
Not enough letters. Now it's PVEVBDDVE.
Is that a red versus blue reference? What about HD DVD? Bad marketing. Not enough letters in the name to make it catchy, so we're changing it to HHDDVVDDBB.
Megastructures meant to house millions lie vacant, while automated underground factories churn out war machines by the minute. As the war rages and destroys the world by day, AI-driven machines...
Hold on, wait a minute. I want to look at that sculpture. Was that sculpture flipping the bird?
War rages and destroys the world by day.
Look. It's a bunch of hands reaching up and one of them's just giving the finger. That is amazing.
AI-driven machines nicknamed the Night Shift rebuild by night. Recovery units stalk the streets, dragging the wounded and the dead to be harvested for their organs. Learn your surroundings, avoid patrols, and maybe you can make it out alive. Every job has rewards and consequences. The details matter. Make sure to dig into the intel thoroughly before heading out. Missions may include sabotaging faction facilities, collecting debts, and good old-fashioned MDKs. No matter how easy you think the job is, don't get complacent. Things can change at the drop of a casing.
God, the designs are so good. Look at that. Look at that design.
Can change at the drop of a casing.
Oh, it is so weird. Oh, this game is so weird looking. It has like, it really has that 90s anime, like sci-fi anime vibe, and I love it. Oh, this is like peak, like, I think I get what you guys mean by Fredcore now. I'm like, okay, this excites me.
If by some chance you find something of real value, you will be hunted, and the factions will send bosses that far exceed your fire team's capabilities. Take note of their weaknesses and plan your strategy to take them down. Even fully geared, it will require coordination, teamwork, and a bit of luck. There are only 3 types of scavs: the fast, the smart, and the dead. So don't be ashamed to retreat if the fighting gets too hot. Remember, there are no heroes here. Just a few men and women running around in the dark with half-empty magazines. Forever.
It's so cool. Oh, it appeals to me so much. Okay, there was a... Oh yeah, 9. Oh my gosh. No, people, there is gameplay. Like, people have been playing early builds of this game. Let me show you. Let me see.
You're a rat in
Yeah,
a
here we go.
maze,
This was the video I saw that turned me onto it.
meaningless scavenger dwarfed in scale by mechanized skirmishes, skittering unnoticed as bullets land nearby, gathering what supplies you can before the heat comes your way. A combat ecosystem where being smarter is always preferable to being stronger,
Achtung.
and where the war truly has a life of its own. When you start with a statement like, you aren't this guy, you're this guy, you're the smallest scavenger in a big war, and try to actually translate it through
It turned me on a little. No. Looks GPU melting? Might be. I can handle it, though. Like, my new computer will be able to handle it, though.
gameplay, it's an alluring idea and concept, but a complex one in
This is called the Forever Winter. Oh, whoop, there go the pets. Damn it. Okay, good. It didn't freeze me too long.
execution. How did a tiny indie team take combined decades of AAA experience to try and curate an environment where set-piece moments happen naturally, entirely on their own? How do multitudes of complex mechanics intertwine, culminating in
Here, I'll
one
skip ahead a
simple,
little bit. Or we can just keep watching.
observable
Good.
phenomenon? Creating a living battlefield isn't as simple as it sounds. Here's how the Forever Winter is going about making it real.
We got time. Oh yeah, we got plenty of time. So, to be clear, the debut is not happening for another 2 hours. So we got a little bit of time to kill. Don't worry. We won't miss it. I'll be sure of it.
An idea, a feeling. It's what carries any art form. It's what the creator of a work of art needs to try and transfer to its consumer. Ever since I started talking to these developers, it became clear that they agreed on one fact, that the idea to functionality pipeline was by far the most difficult one in games development. This video is a follow-up, by the way, to this one. If you haven't seen it, it details the studio's origins, some of the game's core lore and design components, and honestly, who the hell I am and why I care about the Forever Winter so much, how I became this game's combat journalist, so-called. If you've seen that video, this one will make a on the other side and venture through the next. Implementing a door in a game creates. You have a door, a simple aspect of architecture. We all know what purpose it serves in real life. But actually placing one, implementing a door in a game, creates potentially infinite complexities. Your game is a shooter, say. Enemies on one side of the door, player on the other. You want the player to enter through the door, kill the enemies in sequence on the other side, and venture through the next door, where more enemies await. But the player shoots the enemies from outside the door. They line up, aggroing the player, bottleneck in the doorway, and the player clears the whole level this way, without venturing once through that first door. The player being able to interact with the door is one thing. Getting them to interact with it in the way that you, the designer, want is another question entirely. Take that complexity and follow it. Apply it to every single item, idea, mechanic, anything the player might end up interacting with, witnessing, or being affected by. That's game development. So in this case, start with the bird's eye view idea. You are not this guy, you are this guy. Essentially, you're not the main character, you're the little guy. How do you actually get there?
I love how huge the backpack is, by the way. It is like aggressively large. It is consuming the person carrying it.
Take the continuous shot from the end of Alfonso Cuarón's Children of Men and say, I want the game to play like this scene.
Like, this is so genius, right? Because this scene is so good. It's so tense. What other movies have really captured this? It's a Death Stranding-ass backpack. Yeah, a little bit. I think that what makes it feel larger is the fact that you are more zoomed in. 9 threads.
How do you actually do that? In a classic shooter level, the player is incentivized to move through the space, the objective being to turn it from an unsolved state to a solved one. I would even argue that multiplayer shooters are actually designed this way as well, incentivizing map control, steering the player forwards until they inherently lose that ground at some point so that they can move forward again. But when you design a level, a game mode, or AI dynamics in that way, where it revolves around the player's ability to solve the combat puzzle, you encourage action. The player very quickly becomes the guy. One option to dissuade this would be to completely script the game, an on-rails linear experience, essentially a playable movie. But where a linear single-player campaign would succeed in selling power dynamics through vignettes, it would fundamentally fail at delivering another key aspect, agency. In this situation, you've got to get creative. Take a concept, the Children of Men ending scene. What actually happens here? The protagonist needs to get to an objective. 2 factions are fighting each other and he's in the middle. The rebels want him dead, and the British Army are shooting anything that moves. He carefully waits until the right moment where the 2 factions are just focused enough on each other that they don't view him as a target. He sprints from cover to cover. At a certain point, he moves just at the right time, and at certain points, he's a little bit off. At no point in this scene does Clive Owen's character control anything other than his own autonomy. He sees a moment of opportunity, and he takes it. I've spent so much time building up the influence behind the creative decisions.
Definitely one of those movies you should watch. Like, just in general.
The Forever Winter, not just because they're my own taste or I find them interesting, which is all true, but because these intricacies are this game. With the groundwork that they've put in up until now, Fundog Studios could release a Helldivers-esque extraction horde shooter today, if they wanted. It would be easy, it would be derivative, and it would be the exact lack of boundary pushing that is the reason this company split from their various AAA backgrounds to create the game in the first place. All they'd have to do is take the whole AI system that I'm about to describe and turn it off. None of this discussion today
I don't know
would be
about
possible
that.
without this.
I don't know about that, but it is an interesting choice that they're going in such a weird direction with it. That they are, it's not quite horror, right? Because the player does have quite a bit of agency. I think like a lot of horror is built around taking away agency from the player. Shave your balls.
Early versions of the Forever Winter, like this years-old proof of concept built in early Unreal Engine 4, were closer to standard co-op. The game was going to feature anecdotal situations from the game's lore. You'd control scavengers, attacking and looting a European convoy. You'd play as the kids with RPGs, fending off mechs, etc. You were still the little guy in every situation, but the game loop was much more traditional. Scripted, player-centered, great for storytelling, but you became the hero of every vignette.
it looks, this early proof of concept kind of looks like Payday to me. Everyone seems to have loved Payday, like Payday 2 especially. Am I the only person who just didn't get into it? I feel like it just, I don't know, it didn't click with me. I feel like I'm the only person who didn't like Payday. Yeah, kinda, yeah. I'm not saying that it's bad, it just didn't, I don't know, it didn't appeal to me. There's no reason that I shouldn't have enjoyed it. I think it's because it felt a lot like going through the motions most of the time. When I was playing it with friends, I felt like, okay, well, we're just... Playing Payday felt like being a play actor on a stage. Here are the things that you're supposed to do. There's not really much tactical choice to be made in it. There's always an objectively right decision. And if you don't do that right decision, then the people you're playing with get mad at you.
Telling, but you became the hero of every vignette. So, what if instead, what if the basic concept, you aren't this guy, you're this guy, was actually built into the game logic itself? Forever Winter is ruled by an AI director. Similarly to in games such as Left 4 Dead, it's the algorithm that oversees, simulates, and adapts the battlefield. Imagine it like a game board. When you spawn in, your objective is to traverse the map, loot, maybe complete a quest objective, and extract. But the two warring factions have their own spawn points,
The trouble with a lot of cooperative games is that you get used to the way that it's supposed to be played, and eventually playing it becomes rote. Unfortunately, GTFO kind of started to suffer from this. It really came down to mechanics. Not that it's not a difficult game, just the right thing to do. Like, there was always an objectively right thing to do, the correct way to approach a situation. And that makes a cooperative game boring pretty quickly. Yeah, it's easy, like, taking a game that you can easily optimize the fun out of is not really my thing. That's why I like Helldivers so much. Helldivers is very dynamic. It's constantly throwing new things at you, new combinations of enemies, and there are lots of stratagems that all work and function differently, and depending on what different people bring, you can approach these situations very differently. Tons of variety in Helldivers. Helldivers, no matter how much I've played it, it feels fresh. So I love Helldivers 2, right? Like, in a way, I didn't love Helldivers 1. I enjoyed Helldivers 1, I just preferred Alien Swarm to Helldivers 1. But Helldivers 2, I feel like, takes the tactical complexity that I enjoyed in Alien Swarm and then, like, cranks up the intensity. I mean, like, I'm not sick of Helldivers 2. And so a game like this, which promises to give you a lot of avenues to complete your objectives, that makes me excited and hopeful.
Objectives, paths, and end goals. The game doesn't view you, the player, as unique or special in this ecosystem. You are simply one of the many entities on the battlefield, one of the pieces on the game board. Little interjection here, you can actually see the influence of this design aesthetically all over the game. Hexagonal.
To be clear, by the way, I don't mind cooperative games having an optimal way to play, quote unquote, just as long as multiple strategies will work and I can approach the problem from the direction that I want. For example, I love the concept of the recoilless rifle, and I got my brother to keep trying different loadouts and things with me, and we finally hit a loadout that was so successful that I can't believe more people aren't running it, because it trivialized some really difficult situations. Like, I love that. Labbing, right? Like, there's tons of space to lab in Helldivers. I like co-op games where you have a chance to play it the way you want to play it, and there are many different avenues to success. No, not autocannon. By the way, the thing we figured out, you can run double recoilless rifle. You can, okay, I kind of gave it away. Instead of bringing one, you pick a partner, and you each bring a recoilless rifle and a backpack. And if you stick with one another, you can reload one another, have more than enough rockets. And then, like, we just found it gave enough firepower, and also we weren't dependent upon, like, one person getting in position. If one person died or lost their rocket, the other person still had their recoilless rifle, and they weren't shit out of luck. You don't need both people functional to have a functional recoilless rifle. But when you have two people, your force is multiplied. I know it sounds wild, but give it a try. Give it a try. I know it's one of those things where it's like, what's a good food example, right? Like, oh, why do you put maple syrup on your eggs? It's like, no. Just give it a try. Just give it a try, right? I actually don't. I don't do that purposefully. I'll like dip my eggs in the maple syrup when I'm having pancakes with them. But just like that, just give it a try, right? Just give it a try. If you work well with someone, if you have someone you play games with, give it a try. Peanut butter in ramen. Actually, that makes sense. At first, I was like, ugh, but then I thought about it a moment longer, and I was like, oh. Interesting idea.
Trench lines, bunkers, and pathways all imitate that honeycomb layout of tabletop.
I'm talking kind of quickly because I'm trying to keep up with my thoughts, and maybe I just need to slow down.
RPGs. I just thought that was a cool detail. Eurasian units enter the map from certain areas, and European units enter from others on the opposing side, and you spawn somewhere in between them. The armies move in to capture their objective points, individual units follow whatever their major orders are, and as they run into their enemy, they'll clash, creating natural points of contact. Everything is a roll of the dice from the AI director. But if you were to just throw a bunch of units and their objectives into a sandbox, what you get is a meaningless mash of combat. It's eventually just a wall of garbage, enemies punching, kicking, and shooting each other until one of their health pools happens to drain faster. That would have fundamentally disallowed the pacing required for the tactical push and pull between running and looting that the game wanted. It was exactly the scenario that Fundog needed to avoid. In this game, you'll often see the same units fighting each other in the same place, the same types of patrols. That's the reality of RNG with set parameters. But the entire battle will never play out the same way twice. That's partially because of those dice rolls from the AI director, but partially because of an interplay between two key mechanics acting somewhat independently of the director. The way that Fundog were able to make a game that actually feels like this. Weight class and threat rating. Seemingly straightforward concepts that lead to infinite possibilities in practice.
This is so cool. This is probably the thing that makes me most excited about the game right here.
Weight class is the simplest. Like in the combat sports from which the name derives, it's the size or weight of a character, physically. This is pretty much fixed. A scav is the same class as standard infantry, who is slightly smaller than a machine gunner, who is roughly the same size as a brawler or a hunter-killer, which is roughly the same class as a drone, which is smaller than an exo, which is roughly the same class as a main battle tank, which is smaller than a super hind, which is the same class as a medium mech. You get it, and it makes sense. Look at something and you can tell which weight class it probably falls into. Threat rating is relational. How much of a threat is one unit to another? This is...
Welcome in the non-binary. Good name. Everyone, that's a new chatter. Could we give them a quick check? Clearly, they feel like they belong here. However, we got to make sure that they're as good for us as we are for them. All right, chat. What's the consensus? How do they smell? They all right? Looks good to me, boss. Good. Smells good, boss. Good. You are welcome here in this place.
in flux. It's both tied to weight class and simultaneously transcends it. Units tend to only engage other units that are at their same weight class, until one entity proves itself dangerous, essentially raising its threat level above its own weight class in comparison to another. Weight class and threat rating don't only dictate which units engage which and when, but how they go about doing so, with what level of effort they put into that fight. Take this medium mech. It has a main attack, its massive rifle. It'll use this against enemies at roughly its own weight class right off the bat. Another mech or a hind. It also has shoulder-mounted defense cannons. It'll use these as a secondary attack, especially when it's outnumbered. But it also has a tertiary attack, its rear-facing rotary cannon. Not only does this weapon balance the mech from a physical design standpoint, that 120mm rifle must weigh several.
Look at that. Oh, it's such a good design. I love the design so much. Look, if you're going to make a mech, right, how do you make mechs interesting? How do you make mechs interesting? You give them an interesting silhouette. You give them an interesting silhouette and just really go crazy with it. Like that's how I feel, right? I'll talk a little bit about this in a minute, actually. I saw a movie yesterday that I feel like I feel similarly about, except it should have gone weirder. I saw Long Legs. I want to talk about Long Legs for a minute after we get done talking about the Forever Winter.
Tons, but it's also a weapon that the medium mech uses to defend itself against targets significantly under its weight class who are getting on its nerves, or, say, trying to sneak past it. Threat rating, like I said, is constantly in flux from one unit's relationship to those around it. Combining several smaller weight class enemies together brings their collective threat rating up to a higher level. One shotgunner, say, isn't an equal threat to an exo. It would likely ignore this guy and focus on a target its own size, but if a whole fire team attack an exo, captain, shock troops, automatic rifleman, sniper, they'll be perceived as a bigger threat, but the exo still wouldn't use its main cannon against a target smaller than it. It'll use its machine guns and auto turrets instead. The heavier weapon a character uses or even carries will lead it to be being perceived as a bigger threat. The more damage done to a faction as a whole, the quicker that faction will recognize and attack the aggressor. As a player,
Wait a minute.
Or even carries will lead it to be being.
What does this look like? Is this in... This is on Abrams, right? What is the turret has this sort of raised section here. Merkava? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Good eye. Yeah, this kind of looks like a Merkava. Doesn't it? Look. Looks very similar, actually. Look. Maybe not exactly. Oh, actually, wait a minute. This looks... I think it literally is just a Merkava. It literally is just a Merkava. Wow. Yeah, it has the front... It has the barrel holder on the front right there. Right? See? There it is. What in the... Wow. Good eye. Who was that said that? That was... There were a couple of people who said it. Oh, there were a few people. I got some tank enjoyers in chat. Welcome in. Good eye.
Being perceived as a bigger threat. The more damage done to a faction as a whole, the quicker that faction will recognize and attack the aggressor. As a player, you can spec yourself out with an understanding of these mechanics.
Spectral. We're playing this together. Just FYI, you have no choice in the matter. We are playing the Forever Winter together. Literally, okay, but actually for real, role-playing in this game sounds like it would be fun as hell. Right? I mean, no, this is perfect, right? Like, you have, like, the weird analyst. Like, I'd be the weird analyst. Spectral would be, like, the strong, silent type, right? I feel like, or just, like, I don't know, it feels very scav, right? To have, people with their own quirks. We get, like, a quirky group together. In one way or another, you are eternally typecasted. I mean, like, we all have our typecasts. I'm the twink. Mike is the bait. Oh man, Mike. Yeah, Mike would be great. Mike is like, he's okay. No, okay. You have your silent one, your twitchy one. I'm the twitchy one. Mike is the loud one. The loud one with an accent, right? Like, you need one in your scav group. Loud dude with an accent. And, what else? Hold on. Who else? No, Junie's the insane one. Junie's the one who's just running out in the middle of nowhere and, like, getting shit done. Mike is the crazy New Yorker king of the rats walking around with a flamethrower and trash can lid armor. Actually, for real. Hold on. I actually am going to message Mike and Junie right now. Wait. We had... Oh my god, we have a group chat. Right, we all played Helldivers together. You guys... Game for us to play. Go full role play with it. And I'm going to link the trailer to them. It's, this game just is so laser targeted toward me.
Take a pistol or an SMG, and troops will not identify you as a major threat as quickly, for example.
Junie is the Harley Quinn of the
group.
group.
By a fire team of infantry. But that same fire team might open direct fire on that same character if they were holding a grenade launcher instead, even if the one with the GL hadn't openly threatened the troops with it. The more an
This
entity
game is
encroaches
for the
into a point of
homies.
interest and army wants to protect, the better units that they'll send to defend it. AI will investigate sounds. UAVs, drones, and vehicles with thermal imaging will notice targets from a distance and send ground teams to investigate.
What do you mean there's a game named Gluck on the Switch?
And through it all, over time, as the battle progresses, both armies will send larger and stronger units to the field to try and mop up. You might notice how I've been using terms like entity, units, etc. rather than saying you, or the player, or enemies here. And that's intentional, because remember, the game doesn't care who's doing what, at least from an aggro standpoint. A faction might not know that you killed a European fire team in that moment. It just knows that a European fire team died over here. So guess what? Here comes a pack of cyborgs and an exo to go mess up whoever did that. But importantly as well, individual entities in the field only respond to what they can physically see or hear. Unless a UAV has spotted and tagged you, or unless you're carrying a GPS-tracked piece of loot, enemies, whether tanks, exos, mechs, ground, or aerial forces, none of them literally know your location. They'll just naturally respond to what you do, the same as they would any other entity on the field. In many cases, units will see and acknowledge you, but if you haven't proven yourself a prior threat, if there's something nearby that has a higher rating than you, or if they have orders to go kill something, they'll pass you right by. Now, Every mechanic that I've been mentioning, weight class, threat rating, the pacing of aggro, characters' different defensive and offensive capabilities, they all culminate together in one simple, observable phenomenon that defines the symbiotic combat ecosystem.
I guess what I love is that there's a chance for enemies to see you and decide you're not enough of a threat, depending on the circumstance. That is so cool to me, right? Like, you are... That goes a long way to making you feel less like the main character and more like a part of the ecosystem. That's cool to me. Like, oh, like it's kind of like, oh, there's a leopard over there, but it's not interested in us. Okay, we can keep moving. Yeah, this is a game that's going to give you stories. 100%.
Solution to Forever Winter's question, how do you take "you aren't this guy" and translate it into gameplay? That feeling of huddling in a corner, sorting your inventory to patch yourself up as rockets impact just feet away, troops rushing past you just around a corner, the mad dash as bullets ping around you in every direction, making the decision to run straight towards enemy fire in the hopes that they engage the pursuers behind you, observing quietly from cover as units tear each other to pieces, waiting for that moment to strike when the winning side is at its least prepared. These are the moments that define the Forever Winter's moment-to-moment gameplay. These are the moments that are the result of pockets in combat. The phenomenon of either the presence or lack of active violence or danger in a given area at a given time. This is...
Right, there's exactly Calamity. There's a certain level of safety when you are in a firefight. If there are other targets that are more pressing, then you're not going to be targeted, but you can get caught in the crossfire. And it's an interesting sort of variance of danger.
A pocket. How these pockets naturally rise, fall, and are dissected, shifted, and interrupted, growing and dissolving as a result of every aforementioned mechanic, that's what you need to learn how to observe and then traverse intelligently. Observing pockets of combat as they form and soften is the key aspect of combat voyeurism the player needs to master to not get stomped into dust between the two warring militaries. How aggressively the player pushes their odds with them dictates how much danger they put themselves in.
I can totally see myself sort of being the advanced scout, assessing a situation, and effectively giving orders. Yeah, combat voyeurism, right? It's good. I gotta say, if we do end up playing this game, which is very likely, then I'll probably be the scout. I'll be the person assessing risk.
If you try to go in guns blazing, you versus Europa or Eurasia, you might take on a fire team, you might even live that round. You might even take out a couple tanks or an exo. But eventually, it'll all catch up with you. It's part of why the game is third person, by the way, and why I've actually urged the devs to remove the crosshairs. Remember the door problem. The player's point of view,
That's so cool that there are no more third person crosshairs. I think that's a good choice to remove the crosshairs, because they got rid of the third-person crosshairs because when you have the crosshairs on all the time in third person, it makes everything feel more like a target, when that's not necessarily the goal of the game.
Control input, the way the world is presented to them, dictates how they're going to choose to interact with it. When you look at the world through iron sights, everything becomes a target. In staying true to its lore and themes, the game should reward intelligence over firepower. Take this simple...
It is. You do have ADS.
...moment, for example.
ADS being aim down sights.
I've been looking for drone components for a quest. I know that this exo down here has been scrapping drones and UAVs left and right, so I jump down and prepare to move on a dead one that it's recently killed. As soon as I see that it's actively engaging, I make my move, but it's not the right part that I need, so I quickly skitter away as the fight comes in my direction. There was about a 5-second window where this area right here was safe to loot, even though there were enemies right next to me. You can be trickier. Stick an IED behind an exo, for example, or purposefully aggro a pack of cyborgs and then run them right into the opposing faction to pick up the scraps after the ensuing brawl. It's all up to how much you want to risk and how much you figured out how to toy with these systems. This is the aspect of the game that struck me. That felt the most different when I first played a very early build months ago. That feeling that the world existed, fought, and died around me, but it wasn't about me. I was just there. There were all these instances when I first played.
That's so good. God, that's good. That's one thing I like about Foxhole, and it's something that I crave to be able to play with friends, because Foxhole is a very niche game, but I feel like this I could sell my friends on better, right? Which still gives a similar vibe.
To the CEO, Miles Williams, that made no sense based on my experience with other PvE games. I'd be healing in a trench as dozens of cyborgs sprinted past in the adjacent trench. How are we not completely overrun right now, I would ask. We're in a pocket, Miles would say to me. Or there was this moment in one of my first ever games. We were getting chased by a European Exo through a trench line. I get downed and I'm bleeding out. Miles books it away down the trench, the Exo and its supporting fire team close on his heels. Well, he's screwed, I say to myself. As Miles rounds the corner into a connecting trench system, he scrambles up and over the top. The Exo rounds the corner to where he should be and runs face first into a Eurasian fire team. A fight erupts. Miles dashes headlong across no man's land, dives back into the trench at our original position, and revives me. We were the target until we weren't. I've spent such a long time discussing.
That's so cool. Moments like that is what I crave.
The scenario system for a reason. It's the aspect of the game that, in my opinion, mechanically sets it apart from your average horde shooter or stealth game. It's also, though, emblematic of the tonal specificity that draws me into the game's world in the first place and what makes it feel alive and new, despite being a relatively simple idea at its core. The different characters and their unique abilities, the weapons, ammo, and customization system, the rigs, the looting of weapons and goods, crafting, trading, questing, even specific bosses and faction behavior, that's all icing on the cake that is the soul of what the Forever Winter is. A living art book, a dystopian nightmare diorama that you get to take a stroll through. The core ideas of the Forever Winter date back over a decade, when the team that is now called Fundog Studios was just 4 or 5 devs working here and there on Killzone or Horizon or PlanetSide or Deus Ex or Mass Effect. The actual build of the game that I've been playing in 2024, the one that you're seeing here, has barely been in development for give or take a year or two. I've seen many comments from people wishing that they could pilot the mechs in this game. They wish that it was first person, they wish that it was single player and story driven, or they wish that it was multiplayer PvP. They wish it was closer to this or that game that they know and love. The point that I hope I've made clear through explaining everything that I have today is that there's a reason that Fundog have designed the game in the way that they have.
Can I point out how much I love the movement of the mechs here? It's just like a flash.
The thing that I have today is that there's a reason.
Look at this. It fires its weapon and it recoils.
Made clear.
Look at the way it recoils.
Is that there's a
it moves the entire upper half of the mech back. Yeah, they're heavy and lumbering, but also what they are firing is huge and impressive and terrifying, and the way they move feels lumbering. It makes me so happy.
Fundog have designed the game in the way.
This is doing something to some hidden corner of my brain. All of this. It's like it was laser targeted toward me.
That they have. There's a specific tone and story that they want to push, but they're also grappling with the economy of time. How can we make sure that the ideas, mechanics, and aesthetics that carry the soul of the game hold steadfast with the little resources that we have on hand? There was a time when most games were a test bed for mechanics, for ideas, worlds, and aesthetics, not a rat race for who could make the most perfect, most 100% accessible, functional content, the most marketable and profitable product to sit on the shelves amongst many just like it. The former has become the exception, not the rule. It's why Fundog would like to ideally make the Forever Winter's multiplayer peer-to-peer where possible, why even in a markedly co-op game, you can completely play offline solo with a squad of Ghost Recon-esque bot partners.
That gives me a lot of hope, right? That they want to make the co-op peer-to-peer. Because, look, centralized servers, there are advantages to it. The biggest disadvantage is that eventually the servers will probably shut down. But peer-to-peer, or being able to host your own server, that can last forever. You can come back to it. Yeah, it makes the game immortal. So for those who don't know, when you are playing a game online, the game has to be hosted somewhere, typically. And most multiplayer games, especially competitive multiplayer games, will be hosted on a centralized server owned by the creators of the game or whoever is maintaining the game. Sometimes a company will buy a game and take up the responsibility of hosting the centralized servers. Sometimes some less popular games, I think of, or just games in general, right? Team Fortress 2 will do this. That's a very popular game. I think Natural Selection 2 does this. Lots of old school games do this. A game will allow players to host their own servers, and then those will be hosted on a server browser, and then people can join those servers how they see fit. And then different servers can have different focuses, right? Oh, this is just a play for fun server. No one's taking it too seriously. Oh, this is a hyper competitive server. But that is still contingent upon someone having the technical know-how to set up a server and then maintain it. But peer-to-peer means that one player is acting as the host.
Where are those orders?
Put down the RT. Oh my god. That took me a sec. It like activated something in me. Standing by. I need a med pack stat. But peer-to-peer means that one person just acts as the host and everyone else can connect to them. That means that you don't need to worry about anyone else hosting. If you own the game and you have an internet connection, and everyone else you're playing with has an internet connection, they can connect to you. In fact, I think peer-to-peer would even make LAN possible. You could play on LAN if you really wanted.
Why they've set the game up so that even if it doesn't top the charts financially, it'll still be this little gem that anyone can seek out and dive into to its fullest extent from the day it's released.
Cogfather, I think I've seen that before, where like a game had centralized servers, but then when those servers had to be shut down, they patched the game to allow for peer-to-peer. Yeah.
Until 20 years from then.
Look
And
at
while
those
many would disagree,
set
I'd
pieces.
take a game like this over 10 perfectly optimized, polished, and tonally bland shooters any day. This is a game for 90s anime, sci-fi, dystopian fiction fans to geek out over. This is the OVA in the back corner of the video store. This is the heavy metal magazine in the middle of the pile on the bottom shelf in the library. It's the kind of media that maybe a lot of your friends don't really get what about it you're so into, but you just can't get enough of. The best art, in my opinion, gives you a direct line into the minds of the people who made it to see through their eyes, even if for just a moment. Ending our first meeting a couple months ago, Miles said to me, "If people get to have an acid trip in a post-apocalyptic wonderland, that's a W for us." I don't know about you, but that's the game that I want to play. I'm Rilo, and I talk about things that I think are cool. Subscribe for more like this, and I'll catch you soon.
Oh, I want this game to be good. I want to try it. I want to try it. It seems so interesting. I wonder, do you think that maybe you would get me into playtest if I asked really nicely? do you think they'd let me? I wonder if after I get Beefcake, I could try playing. You can try. Playtest. Woo. Woo. I wonder if I could talk Alfie and Lumi and Mary into playing it with me.
Birdie. Nice birdie. Good birdie.
X-Pac, I kind of got that sensation too. That but I don't think this is AstroTurf. I think that this is just someone who's really into it. I think they're just really into the game. No, I don't blame them. What's up with Beefcake? Oh, I'm just not there yet. I built it and it's in the place where I am moving to. Do the devs have that kind of money? I actually don't think they do. I think that some people just get really excited for games, and then I've seen this kind of language before, and it reminds me a lot of my days playing very niche games, and people really wanting to pitch them because they want to see the game be successful, and so they want to support it how they can, and sometimes they're like, I'll give my words, right? Like, I can't give them money, but I can give them words. Oh, I built it over there, Harrison. I didn't send it. The point is I didn't want to have to ship it because I don't want to ship such nice, expensive parts and trust them to the airline companies. Oh yeah, Dosnir. The nice thing is that this is a maximum 4-player game. So, no worries about the peer-to-peer there. Them. Oh, I'm excited for that. Oh, also, okay, so that looks really promising to me. However, I saw a movie yesterday that has been very hyped online. I went with some friends to go and see it. I went and saw Longlegs. Longlegs is the new, it stars Nicolas Cage, right? That it's kind of funny. They have specifically tried to keep Nicolas Cage out of all of the promotional material. You do not see him but once, and you don't see his face. You see him as like a silhouette in the background. So I won't give spoilers, okay? No spoiler talk. No spoiler talk just yet. If I talk about spoilers, I'll let you know. Here's my assessment. All right, you ready for my short review of Longlegs? Good horror movie. Very weird. But wasn't great. Very good at all of the horror movie basics. Very good at building tension. Very good at building atmosphere. Amazing cinematography. Beautiful. Beautiful movie. Paced, I actually thought that the pacing was great. It was like it was jarring in places. The pacing was fantastic in that it managed to surprise me consistently as I was going, while still like all of the performances were quite good. The problem, okay, so all the performances are good. All the characters are really awkward in a wonderful way. In a way that really brought me into it. No, it's not jump scares, Snaky. There are a couple of jump moments, right? Moments that'll make you jump in your seat. Definitely. But it's not a jump scare movie. I'll put it that way, right? Like, jump scares are not the focus. It's much more atmospheric. The downsides, the problem is I kept wanting it to be more. I kept wanting Longlegs to be more than it was. It was so close. It was so close to greatness at so many moments, especially with some of its concepts. It was very interesting conceptually. However, it always stopped short of doing something truly interesting. And that frustrated me. I wanted it to lean into it more. I kept coming back to Annihilation. Longlegs wasn't super worried about explaining everything about it. It gives lots of hints, but it doesn't explicitly explain a lot, and that's great. I think that's fine. But like when I compare it to Annihilation, Annihilation is a movie obsessed with its themes, and Longlegs seemed to be afraid to really dip into its themes much beyond a surface level, which is too bad, because it is a beautiful movie. The acting was all great. Nicolas Cage's quirkiness, I felt like, was really peculiar in a good way. The characters were all interesting. Like, I was very interested in all the characters, but it could not synthesize all of its themes into something greater. It just could not. And that is a massive disappointment, because I love so much about that movie. There's so much to enjoy. There's so much to enjoy in Longlegs, and it just stops. It always, you know what? It wasn't confident. It wasn't confident in itself. Multiple times it gave exposition when clearly the scriptwriters and the cinematographers and the director are all good enough to say it implicitly. We don't need exposition dumps. We don't need the exposition. They're clearly good enough. There are a bunch of moments where they communicate complicated ideas without info dumps, but they did it anyway. Charlie's review of Longlegs says, he says, a good horror movie, but overhyped. I will say it is overhyped. Longlegs is definitely overhyped. Is it good? Absolutely. Like, it is definitely a good movie. And I would say it's worth seeing. If you are curious and interested in it, yeah, it's worth seeing. But it is not on the level of other weird, like other really, really good horror movies, right? Like, it just couldn't quite breach that ceiling, because it wasn't confident enough in itself. It had these really fascinating, weird ideas, and it wasn't confident enough in itself to really drive them home. And that is too bad. What I want, you know what I really want now? I want these same people to do another movie. He also complained of the over-explanation. Yeah, the exposition. Yeah, it didn't need all of the exposition that it gave. Which is really too bad, because again, it communicated a lot of its ideas really well through just the visuals. What I want is these same people, right? I want these same people to make another movie. Do it again. Like, do another movie. And be more confident in yourselves. I want them to be confident in their ability to tell a story. Here, I'll pull up a trailer for Longlegs, how's about, to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Have confidence. Here we go. Oh, heh, knock, knock. Sorry, that was probably really loud. I need to make sure I'm muting the tabs before I open them up. Tension in this movie is so good.
Is it scary being a lady FBI agent?
Yeah.
Take a nice long look.
Welcome in, Votterbin.
A letter was left with the bodies. Signed with one word.
saw a beast rise up out
That
of the
scene was
sea
really good. That scene was really good.
with 7 heads and 10 horns. And on his horns he wore 10 crowns. On each head was written a blasphemous name.
What aren't you telling me?
He'll kill and kill again.
I know you're not afraid of a little bit of dark. Because you are the dark.
Do you still say your prayers?
Never once. They scared me. Hello?
You could have made nice with me. But you didn't. And that has led to all of this. I'll be waiting.
To be clear, it's who was it? It was Micah Monroe who plays the main character. Does a great job. She's fantastic. Like weird, right? Like she gives a weird performance and it's great. Seems kind of generic. I would say it's not. Like Longlegs is okay. That's one thing I actually liked. Is it wasn't generic. I think that its biggest problem actually is when it fell back into generic like tropes. I think it is a weird horror movie that wanted to be a generic horror movie. And that gets in the way of it a lot. I'd say that was actually a pretty representative trailer. I'd say that was a good trailer. I think that the trailer was trying to appeal to mainstream audiences, but I also feel like maybe it didn't completely convey all the weirdness. Calamity, you don't have to leave. I'm not going to give spoilers, because I actually, like, I think it's worth seeing. I think that Longlegs is good. I think it's overhyped. I think that it's... What is the title Longlegs referring to? It's not a spoiler. It said right at the beginning, or like, you know, right near the beginning. Longlegs is the name of the murderer. Like, this is a serial killer movie, and then it gets weird. It is a weird one. Yeah, cop journey into the unknown trope. I wanted the movie to be more. Sorry, I got a message. I got a message from Mike. Let me double check something. Let's see. Double checking. Dude. Oh, you know what I almost forgot to mention? Hey guys, I am going to be on Whiskey Dingo's stream later tonight. He's doing a game show. And I'm going to be joining for it. He's doing Old Blood versus New Blood, and I am one of the Old Blood. Yes, I'm going to be joining the yellow one tonight. Okay. Apologies. Just doing tippy-typey. No, not elder. Not elder. It's more people who have been around in Whiskey's community for a while playing with some of the new people in VFR. That's the plan. God, I guess it was hard not to compare Longlegs to Annihilation. That was all. Longlegs talk over. Yep. Longlegs talk over. Overall review, good movie. Not quite great. I wish that the directors had more confidence in themselves because I love the concepts and I loved the pacing and I loved the cinematography and I loved a lot about it. And it didn't come together in the way that I feel like it could have. And I want to see them do another movie. And I want to see them evolve. That is my review. That is my review. Worth seeing if you like horror. Good, but could have gone all out. Yes. That's how I feel. Good. I would say like definitely above average. Definitely above average. Just overhyped. It is not the scariest thing ever. Or like the thing that sits with you forever. That's my opinion. That's my review. I wanted it more. I wanted more from it. Hey everyone. We are about an hour away. Okay. I'm scared. Okay, I am going to bother everyone in the Norfolk Wizard game server. In the voice channel. Let's see. Discord call. There we go. It is time for Parker to live. I need to get my Fugi in here. Wait a minute. Is that... Yeah, I need to get my Fugi in here. Fugi... Reactive. Here we go. Group. Copy. And make... Oh, wait a minute. Does it already exist? I think it already exists even. Yes. Yeah, it does. It's already here. Didn't have to go to all that trouble. But yeah, I pinged everyone and they should be coming in at their leisure. Odoroshi stream debut reel. Odo will be here. Oh, that's what she said anyway. Oh, I have gotten to know all these people, like, well in the game. And it's exciting to see our game come to life. Ugh. I'm so excited. Oh, my heart. My heart. Oh, I need to relax. I am hoping that they join the call soon to help put my nerves at ease. It's a lot of me role playing, and I'm worried. Oh, did I do well? Speaker did a wonderful job. Speaker was amazing. How many people are in here waiting? 463 people waiting. There's a library you were showing. Hey, Speaker.
Ignorant slaves.
Oh, ignorant slaves.
Slaves, you haven't seen my baby.
You are so quiet, you're not even activating the Fugi.
Excellent. That's what it's all about, baby. Can
Oh,
you hear
there
me
we
now?
go. There we go. Now I can hear you just fine.
Cool. Yeah, I'm sorry. My mic stand is just like drooping for some reason.
Oh, yeah. Mine has a similar problem, but that's because it's ancient. Everyone, may I please... It is my great pleasure to introduce you to Speaker D, our game master for Norfolk Wizard Game. We are live, good sir.
Hi, everybody.
Oh,
it's great
ignorant
to see
slaves. I think I should show my stream why we're doing this.
That's a good idea.
Where
otherwise it'll be completely incomprehensible.
Where is it? Hold on. Also, Speaker, you know what? There is a game that I discovered this morning that I realized you might actually be into. Up there's Saddam Hussein. There's Dog. It's in the meme. No, it's in the voice chat, isn't it? Yeah, voice chat. Here we go. Oh, yep, there he is.
There he is.
Okay, here we go. Let me show you all why we are going. It is an edit of like a rancid video.
I'm loving all these twerking owls in chat.
Oh yeah, right. You like them?
I adore them. I live for them.
Do you want to know what what the code is, what the text is you have to put in?
What is it?
T-owl dumpy.
Beautiful. I expect nothing less. We are living in an enlightened time, a time of, oh my god, there's so many different dumpies.
Oh yeah, there's lots of dumpy. Okay, so little bit of Twitch lore. Dumpy was actually universally banned for a while on Twitch.
That's so sad.
And they, for some reason, and then they unbanned it recently, and so everyone got a dumpy.
Hell yeah. I'm excited that the dumpies have been socialized. Welcome, Hulky Crow!
I'm so glad to hear everybody got a dumpy. Truly, we are living in blessed times.
Everyone, this is Hulky Crow, the player of Bill, our resident conspiracy theorist, and String Squatch aficionado.
That is true.
It is very true. We love our noodly avatar thing creature.
I am live right now. Just want to be sure that you are aware.
Oh yeah, I'm aware.
Okay, good. I just wanted to double check. But I was going to show everyone why Speaker and I were going at each other. Ignorant slaves. Here, I'm gonna show it on stream.
Care you get, I'll give you an...
Alright, bet.
Oh my god, I'm so nervous.
Aw, you're adorable. Oh my god, that is so adorable.
I forgot about this fucking thing.
I hate it.
I just accepted doing... Like, I had forgotten the origin came from this uwu bullshit. Oh my god.
Ignorant slaves. Finally taken notice, have you?
My invisible baby.
Of the power of my beloved Ocelot.
Of the power of my beloved Ocelot. Of my revolver Ocelot. Oh! Okay, I will share my screen because this is worth it. I also wanted to show you something I discovered this morning. It is a game. Have either of you heard of a game that's in development right now called The Forever Winter?
No, I don't think I have.
Can't say I have.
Okay. It is okay. I'm gonna tell you the premise of the game, like the gameplay of the game, before I go in. It is a PvEVE. It is a co-op game, up to 4 people, where you are trying to loot an active battlefield.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah. So that you have 2 sides fighting one another, and then you're a scavenger just kind of scurrying around.
I actually quite like that. That's interesting.
And look at this.
Microphone. He's not happy. Hello.
Hello, Odo.
Odo. Hello. Big scary explosion. Odo. Hello.
Explosion. That's how I come in.
Everyone, this is Odoroshi.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, we are live right now. FYI.
Oh God.
Yeah. And because we're gonna be doing the watch along. But we are live right now. Everyone, this is Sybil in the Norfolk Wizard game. Beloved Sybil.
Hello, everyone. Oh God, I forgot. Do I follow you on Twitch?
I don't know.
It's okay. I
don't keep track of that shit.
Fucked up if true.
Oh my God, he's become a Simpsan.
Did you know that nobody loves me?
I love you.
Nobody
I
loves
very
me.
much, Fred.
Nobody loves me. If any one of you doesn't love me, nobody loves me.
Odo, you have to tell Fred that you love Fred.
Fredward. You are deeply beloved.
Ignorant Odo.
Sybil.
For every
Ignorant
kill you get,
Sybil.
I'll give you
And yeah. For every piece of battle, like loot you acquire, I'll give you an.
Excellent. Excellent.
I'm currently. I was about to show Hulky and Speaker a game that has piqued my interest called the Forever Winter, where you play as someone scavenging an active battlefield.
Ooh.
Yeah, you play as a team. It's co-op. It is co-op, and it is weird. Here, I'm sharing it if you want to check it out. I'm sharing my screen.
Okay, I see it.
War, famine, destruction,
Oh,
death.
Three of my
Years
favorite
20XX.
Yeah.
Welcome to the future.
Forever Winter.
The Forever Winter is a 4-player sci-fi tactical survival horror shooter that takes place in a future where massive armies are skinning the bones of our once beautiful Earth. You are a scavenger.
Vibe is already
lovingly
immaculate.
referred to as a
Right.
scav. Within this combat ecosystem, you assume the role of
That
leader and
atmosphere is
survivor.
insane.
Yeah.
Trapped between 2 warring military factions of the future, each with their own objectives. Outgunned, undersupplied, and constantly under
Look at this
attack.
shit.
You must rely on cooperation and cunning to survive even minor enemy contact. Situational awareness is key in this world. Stop, look, and listen. Trigger discipline will save your life. A target missed is a bullet wasted, and not every battle is one worth fighting. Only kill what you can loot and get away with.
So something they don't talk about in this trailer, by the way, is that the AI, right, there's a big AI director overseeing everything. And the AI has threat evaluation. So if they see you, but there's a bigger threat like nearby, they won't, and they decide that you're not worth it, they won't fire at you. They won't pay attention to you.
Interesting.
That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
so if you've got like a little revolver and you're just kind of scrounging around the battlefield, they're like, it's just a fucking scav, whatever. But if you got a bigger gun, then they'll actually like mount a response, assuming that you could be dangerous. So bigger guns aren't necessarily a good thing.
That's a really
Yeah.
that's a really interesting concept.
Yeah.
Every time you open fire, you are ringing the dinner bell. Make it worth it. Welcome home, deep down in the guts of the city. Refugees seek shelter here, and they choose your level because you have one of the few things that matter. Water. H2O brings traders, shops, and allied mercenaries that have your six. If you want to survive, you'll need to pick up jobs from the 2 warring factions. Be smart about the jobs you take. The more a faction controls a sector, the more heavy units they will deploy, and the more dangerous it becomes. The more jobs you do, the more jobs you'll get, and the longer you'll keep everyone alive. No one gets by in this world all on their own, so don't be afraid to help others when you can. Donation stations are made available where high-level vets can share gear with low-level baby scavs. You were in their shoes
That's so
once,
cool.
too. Here you can customize your rig. An innovative modular platform that grants you advanced abilities.
Baby.
Pneumatic jump allows you to quickly traverse rough terrain
Incentive
and
to
reach
call your
hard-to-get
new friends
drops.
joining this game. Little babies.
Turrets
They're
allow
just
you to
little
shred,
babies.
at least for a short time.
So
And scanners allow you to scout ahead to plan your route. You want guns? You've got them. Modify and upgrade your firearms for the jobs you take. Always remember, the more gear and ammo you bring in, the less you can carry out. So spec accordingly. Once you're kitted up, it's time to enter the macro city of Lost Angels. Megastructures meant to house millions lie vacant, while automated underground factories churn out war machines by the minute. As the war
I love the
rages and
designs.
destroys the world by day.
This
I'd
art,
like to-
say this art direction is inspired.
Right. Also, I love that you have a bunch of hands reaching up on this sculpture, but one of them's given the finger.
That's a
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
That is a good detail. I really like that.
AI-driven machines nicknamed the
How
Night
could a
Shift rebuild
society
by night.
built around a
Recovery
giant
units
arm
stalk the
statue
streets,
like
dragging
that?
the wounded and the dead to be harvested for their organs. Learn your
Giants
surroundings. Avoid patrol.
Yeah.
Attack on Titan real. God, I hope
And
not.
maybe you
Load.
can make it out alive. Every job has rewards and consequences. The details matter. Make sure to dig into the intel thoroughly before heading out. Missions may include sabotaging faction facilities, collecting debts, and good old-fashioned MDKs. No matter how easy you think the job is, don't get complacent. Things can change at the drop of a casing.
Look at that design.
If by some chance you
Right.
find something of real value, you will be hunted. And the factions will send bosses that far exceed your fire team's capabilities. Take note of their weaknesses and plan your strategy to take them down. Even fully geared, it will require coordination, teamwork, and a bit of luck. There are only 3 types of scavs: the fast, the smart, and the dead. So don't be ashamed to retreat if the fighting gets too hot. Remember, there are no heroes here. Just a few men and women running around in the dark with half-empty magazines. Forever.
That's very cool. The vibes are immaculate.
Right?
Yeah.
This is a particular flavor of bleak hell that I really, really like.
Yeah, I thought that you all would appreciate this. That's why I wanted to bring it up to you.
It's that is extremely pog.
Yeah. When's the release date, or is this just kind of still in early development?
It is, you can wishlist it. I looked on their website and they have like heavy intel drop coming in a week.
Ah.
So we'll see what's going on in a week. Achtung. But yeah, it's we're a team of 30 veteran devs with decades of AAA experience and a shared vision for games that are uncompromising in their design. Apparently, like, a couple of things that give me hope as well. They have people playing it and play testing it. It is in a playable state right now, after like max a couple of years in development, which is very promising. But also, like, I want to see if I can get in. I want to see if I can get in and try playing it. Because I'm like, hey, I'm a streamer. I'm a YouTuber. I'm just a YouTuber.
Need to shove
maybe
this
I can.
owl through the mail slot of this company.
Right. Just peek in. Hello.
Fun dog. That's a cute name.
Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, with a shared vision for games that are uncompromising in their design and spectacularly violent.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
We're working on our first title as games with meaning beyond the typical shooter power fantasies that embody our unique sensibilities and sense of humor. We want to push users to the edge of their comfort zone and reward them for taking calculated risks to overcome dynamic and horrifying circumstances. And I am just fascinated by them.
Yeah, you gotta send them like an email or something. I think you could get in.
I bet that I could. Oh, it looks so good. It feels, I don't know. I love games that make me think but feel small.
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I get what you mean. The way you've described Foxhole kind of gives me that like
I was
energy
making
of like
that.
think big but you are small kind of vibe.
Yeah, that is. I even brought this up when I was showing stream earlier. That it has that feeling, but like Foxhole is a much harder sell than something like this, I think. Which is, I think, more on its face appealing, right? Like Foxhole is and will forever be extremely niche, but this you could show to someone and they'd be like, okay, I'll give this a try.
For sure,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I would give this one a try, and this is usually not the vibe of game that I go for, the like looter shooter. But it's in third person, so I wouldn't throw up.
It's Oh, one cool thing is they got rid of the third person crosshair too. Like which I appreciate as a design choice. No, I'm very nervous. Thank you for being here with me, you guys.
Oh my god, you want to talk nervous? I'm gonna shit in my pants every single one of these.
Oh,
yeah, but you're amazing.
Yet...
You're consistently amazing.
Yeah, no. Nobody has ever said, man, this Speaker D guy is such a shit ass.
I've had it.
It's real poo-poo ass. Yeah. No, like everybody's stuff has been really well received so far. It's been really, really cool seeing the broader Alpha Busa audience finally get to react to like the actual awakenings. It's been it's been getting me through it.
Oh yeah, I'm very proud of what we put out here, and my only hope is that I can continue to please with this level of quality.
Oh, you're fantastic. The only improvement I wish is for you to like somehow increase your microphone volume a bit more right now.
That could never happen. Right,
okay.
Turn up your microphone.
Speaker, blow out my eardrums right now.
You
hurt me.
You know, rarely do. Oh, that's why, because the microphone was all the way to the bottom.
Oh.
Do I sound better now?
Yeah, you sound much better.
That's why I was so quiet. Because my volume was at 1.
Silly.
Now I know.
I've been looking at the comments already, and we've got 40 minutes. It's premiering in 40 minutes. I can't. Everyone's just like, "Oh my god, he's going to be a time mage," and I'm just like,
Nope.
Oh,
Surprise!
Speaker, I do need to talk to you about the sort of like what's been going on with our current sessions with Parker, and because there's some. I don't know how much I can talk about it. Parker is like.
All I can
Parker
say is
y'all are like
ready.
Dipping into deeper evil.
I for one welcome Parker's exceptional journey.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that abso-fucking-lutely we will have much to speak about soon.
Okay. Okay.
The audience will be surprised actually at how far ahead we are. We play like once a month, and we're on like episode like.
We just finished 11.
Or something. Yeah.
We just finished 11. Yeah, we're doing 12 this Sunday.
Yep.
So we are very ahead of the curve, and many funny things have happened in the intervening time.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I am so excited for people to see what goes on with the fellas. You know the fellas.
Oh yeah.
The fellas. Yeah.
The funny little fellas.
Actually,
the
little
funny
fellas.
little fellas that have never done anything bad ever. I'm on their side.
Exactly.
If I could ask you guys, is there anything in particular that you feel like, without spoilers,
Yeah.
Speakered in the first real episode Ordinary with his ability to keep everyone in the party relevant even when they are in such disparate locations and situations. I'm wait hold up, you've already played 12 sessions?
Yes, Spec Ops. We played 11 sessions, 12 if you include each of our individual awakenings. And thank you for the bits. But yes, things have grown. The thing that I'm excited for people to experience is the encounter at the Smiling Bag.
Oh,
that was a good scene.
That people
was a
are.
good
I
scene.
think that is going to act as a really big climax.
I'm excited for that one.
You're still a little bit quiet, Speaker.
Am I? Oh my god.
Only. I think there you go. Yeah, when you're speaking up like that, you're just fine.
Okay, cool.
What you
I got the mic
need
a
is
little
a
close to me.
compressor. What you really need is a compressor. I have one on OBS. It allows me to sit back in my voice a little bit more.
Yeah, I should set up some fucking witchcraft like that sometime soon.
But yeah, the Smiling Bag, and of course, our most recent session we played is going to be like that feels like a,
very true.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That is going to be intense.
I was especially proud of that one. Yeah.
Some real fucking nautical nonsense.
I am very curious. Oh, also, Speaker, the other thing that I'm really excited to see people's reaction for was the scrying.
Oh,
You remember that? Yeah, that moment. That moment was so good.
I noticed none of us are mentioning a certain mattress.
I was
really.
just
I
gonna
was
say,
gonna
I'm
say,
really
yeah.
Thinking
excited
about
for
that
people
too.
to say and finally experience the best night of sleep they've ever gotten.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
There's also I was going to bring this up to you, Speaker, to the detriment of Odo. There is a loose end that hasn't been tied up. You remember that? You remember that one?
There are a couple little ones, yeah.
There's a little thread there, Odo,
I
that
built
you.
this character to face the horrors, and I welcome them. I welcome them into my body, into my brain.
Oh, I am so excited to see how you're going to reconcile that little promise.
You know, I have actually been thinking about it, and I may be able to weasel my way out of it. I don't have that many dots in charisma, but I've got enough.
Okay.
Brave,
Okay.
my friend. But
Besides, we are about to go to a place that is relevant to the promise I made to that guy.
Exactly.
So-
That's what I was thinking. Like, what's
who
Sybil gonna
knows
do?
if that'll ever come up? I mean, by God.
This
Who
like
knows?
spoiler-free discussion makes us sound like we're hallucinating.
Yeah, I feel like
know,
we
right? This
sound
is
like
great.
we're like experiencing brain death right now. Yeah.
Very real chlorine gaslight moment.
I'm always doing that.
We're doing that Japanese visual novel thing to where we're like, I hope that the program proceeds according to the design.
Exactly. Yeah, mattresses is like bolded and underlined, and it's never explained.
Okay. No, Speaker D. The thing I'm very excited to see how the animators and Alpha and White handle is nice catch. I don't say anything else.
I don't say anything else. Oh yeah, that was a. I almost forgot about that guy.
Listen, sorry.
Oh my God, the boogeyman.
Yes.
That's going to be an incredible. I'm really like, I was thinking back on it, and I'm just like, are there enough moments that have really punctuated the story to like really keep people engaged? And then I remember, oh yeah, there was this, and then there was this, and then there was this, and then my worries very quickly were assuaged. Like this is a plot that moves very, very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
That is
entire
true.
arc.
Yeah, a lot has happened in a very short period of time.
If anything, I think something that I fear as a storyteller is moving perhaps a little too quickly. But fortunately, you guys are reaching a point now in the sessions outside of these awakenings where things can slow down a little and you can digest and you guys can choose now which course you guys are going to want to go on and all that other good stuff. But yeah, we have been rocketing at like a breakneck speed.
Yeah. We have all I don't think this is too much of a spoiler, but we are all at a maximum of like 2 willpower left.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of us
not even
spend
kidding.
willpower like it's going out of style. I'm not even sure we really need to.
No, there have been times that we absolutely have needed to. Are you kidding me? Especially in the last session, I spent my last point of willpower, and it might have saved us.
The last session, absolutely very, very valuable use of willpower.
Yeah.
I am sometimes worried, like, oh my god, these guys are running out of shit.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have it like every day we gain 1 willpower back, right?
That is true.
Yeah.
Every
so
day, and then
we can
every time
rest.
you satisfy your nature.
Yeah, I feel like my nature, right, capped, like I'll spoil it. It's capped volcano. I feel like there have been times when I have, but not in like an explicit way. I feel like it might not quite work because like the way the character has developed, he's not really he does things, but he does things that I feel like fulfill that kind of, but quietly. Does that make sense? Like he makes decisions that are very like that have wild implications, but don't have the implications immediately, right? This isn't him kicking down a door, but he does make certain decisions, right? Like his decision to reveal things a couple of sessions ago, right? Like that was a decisive, right? He makes decisive decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Mage, you gotta be a little bit of a salesman. You gotta like every time you do something that may go for it, it's just like, hey,
yeah, and I haven't done
storyteller,
that.
you can say, yeah, no, it's
And
hard
I
to
haven't
remember.
been doing that.
I think you have been. In fact, I think that you are one of the people that is the best about that in the group.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you will go for things in, I think, a very interesting and unique way. And I think that our lovely audience is going to get to experience that for your awakening, which surprised me as much as I'm sure it surprised you.
It did. So to be clear, we did talk about the general thrust of the character and the way we kind of wanted the awakening to go, but a lot was left to roleplay.
Oh
yeah.
And I threw a wrench into some plans, but Speaker just rolled with it. To the point, like, Speaker rolled with it so much that I thought that this was, like, his intended outcome at some points.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I will have to brag on Speaker's storytelling abilities with Mage in particular. It's one of those games where it's like, it wants you to kind of throw a wrench in things, and it takes a storyteller who is really, really good at stopping and yes-anding.
Yeah.
Pretty much anything you can throw at them. And I think that's definitely one of Speaker's strengths.
Why, thank you. Yeah,
definitely.
I'm very proud of my ability to improv and bullshit on the fly. But
you do great.
I'm exceptionally happy with you know, you can't just do that with every player, you know, like not all players are like super receptive to that kind of crazy game. And so it's as much, I think, more so to your credit than to mine, how things have gone with these lovely sessions.
I made it up.
Especially the insanity of your
I make
session.
stuff up all the time.
I'm of the belief, and it's just my style, and that goes also for these games, that if you as a DM know exactly what's going to happen in your game, you're wrong. Because
Right.
and you should be wrong. I think that you shouldn't know exactly what's going to happen. You should have all
There's-
these pieces, and you can say, "Oh yeah, this is maybe they'll go here, and maybe they'll react this way, and they could act that way." But to me, an RPG is at its most fun when something nobody absolutely ever expects happens, and then you just roll with it, and you see how deep that rabbit hole
Yeah,
goes. Rabbit hole, like
speaking-
Fredrik Newton.
Wow!
It's really too bad that our resident basketball mage isn't here, because what you are saying reminds me immediately of something that he did at the Smiling Bag that
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that was
thing he
one
did that
hell
I
of a
was
choice.
punished for.
That was that was
Well,
one
yeah.
hell of a choice. Fucking Orbeez.
Everyone loves Orbeez. So
I
so
love
many
Orbeez.
things. So many lovely
That was
things.
Round and smooth. Put them in your mouth.
Put them in your mouth.
True.
Ooh.
Take them into your house.
I've been so happy to see the way that they mixed your monkey noises into the audio mix.
Yes, I'm really
God,
glad.
they're so good. I finally sat down and I've been listening to them while I play Foxhole, and I got through all the videos of everyone's awakening, and they did such a good job with everything.
Oh yeah. No, I was super excited to see the Ogre Popenang team's like video edits for it. I've watched
Yeah.
everyone's at least twice by now.
There is one thing I'm terrified of, and that's Carl's review.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I
He's
don't
pretty harsh.
know. I don't know what Carl's review is going to be. I have no control over that.
He is
Yeah,
a harsh reviewer.
I actually haven't seen... I saw Bill and Sybil's while they were still in production, but I didn't see the early posts, like the review posts for Parker and Samson's. So those I had to go in blind.
Oh, wow.
Samson's was so good.
The visuals
God.
on that were really good.
Yeah, the visuals on that were excellent. Oh, like the body folded over.
Mm-hmm.
That was so good. It was like just the right amount of like vague, right? I love that because it implies like this is barely a body anymore.
Yeah.
It's that sort of vagueness makes it like accentuates like how much damage this thing did.
Oh yeah, I love that we can trust the Ogre Popenang art team to hear something gross happening and be like, oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
And just lead into it.
I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure they'll be fine.
The Foley for Sybil's Awakening specifically, the like squelchy sounds and the visuals for it were just
Yeah.
mwah. The David Cronenberg fan in me was very, very happy.
Oh yeah.
The team really does cook. They put everything
Mhm.
into any production.
Mm-hmm.
And it shines through in the finished product. It is a wonderful opportunity and a blessing to work with such incredibly talented people. I'm not just saying that to pat everybody's asses. I really do love everybody who works on this. Like, what an incredible group of people.
Absolutely.
Seeing something that I have had a small part in be so like big, right? Like have such a big production around it is terrifying to me. Like, and I almost feel like, because I'm the producer on like everything I do, right? Like I'm the producer for my streams, I'm the producer for Down the Rabbit Hole, and any other project I do, I'm the producer, I'm the impetus. And so to be a part of something else is kind of, I feel, it feels like stolen valor. Like these are other people who have done amazing work, and I'm like, I'm such a small part of this, and to have so much focus on me feels wrong.
It's okay.
No,
I know
dude.
imposter syndrome too.
I get that
imposter.
feeling. But yeah,
I'm-
absolutely not.
I'm
The whole team assembled and like all the role play that's been shown has been top tier from everyone. It's been so exciting.
I was so scared. I'm sure that they kept this in for the video of me being like, I'm not sure. Like, I haven't been a player in a million years. I'm an eternal GM, and so it's like, am I going to be a good enough player? And I am glad that I have been up to standard.
Oh yeah, you fucking killed it. I've seen the reception to Parker online for the people who have already listened on Spotify. He's everybody's insane baby girl.
Yes. Fred, like you kill it as a player. You leave me in awe with some of your narrative segments.
Oh my god,
Oh,
yes.
you guys.
Dude, the way you have
guys.
Like that.
Speaking as somebody who has played Mage for a very long time and who has been really excited about the fact that Norfolk Wizard Game has kind of taken off to show the broader public this game that I love so much but is very, very underrated and underappreciated, you were kind of like, everybody present here, and Parker especially, was like the ideal like first time Mage player. It just clicked with everybody at the table. There wasn't any of that, or there was a little bit, in like test sessions and stuff where people were learning this weird ass system and like figuring it out. But once we started, once like the ball hit the ground and we were going, everybody really stepped up and showed like exactly why Mage is so cool and why this system is so fantastic and needs to be appreciated by more people. Like, the just energy that was brought early in the game and still now, like months later, is kind of astounding. Like, it's so nice to see.
I feel like the game is coming into its own. I feel like we were all finding our footing for a little while, but like, I would say we really hit our stride. I feel like actually we hit our, like, we started hitting our stride pretty early on, all things considered. Like, I feel like we hit our stride with the smiling bag, actually, now that I think about it. But I feel like now, like, where we are now is like, it feels so cohesive. I feel like we all get the system, and we all have a stronger idea of where our characters are. I think that Samson is still like finding himself, because he's kind of a fish out of water in the world of mages, right? He's a dude who wanted to be a basketball player. He set his entire mind to it, and now that's gone. And like, this is the first time that he hasn't achieved something that he's put his mind to. And so it's finding a home for him is going to be interesting.
Yeah, his is very much like a quintessential orphan mage struggle. And Erndil has been exploring it in an interesting way so far.
I have one fear. My biggest fear of this is that people will think that this is just a self-insert.
No, Fred, I hope
How many
not.
homicides have you planned, Fred? How many?
Be
honest.
Every character, I feel, has a little bit of the player in them, because
It's
you
true.
have to like portion off a fraction of yourself to really appreciate how far you can get into the role play of it.
Yeah.
I mean, for God's sake, Fred, at least he is not Zedek, who is just visually a self-insert.
Zedek is so beloved.
We are getting a ton of
Fred
new
shot a guy
chatters,
in a
and
highway shootout.
I think they're coming into I think they're coming in from the YouTube. I saw someone in the chat was like Fred and the group are doing a watch along. So we're getting welcome in, you guys. Welcome in, everyone. Also, Blind Archer, we don't need to talk about that.
You shot a guy, Fred. You shot a guy.
I did. No. Okay.
Fred?
No. Okay. Okay. I don't think I've told you guys this story.
I'm scared.
Wait.
Okay. No, I didn't shoot a guy. Okay. Here's what happened. I was driving to pick up a friend at the airport, and you have to go through downtown to do this.
Right.
And it's late at night, right? Their plane is arriving quite late. So as I'm driving down the highway, not many cars, someone comes up behind me, passes me on the right, pulls out in front of me. Then I notice as well that to my left, there is a windowless van that is like pulling up and passing me. I'm checking my map to see, where I need to turn off, and I hear a pop, pop. I look up, and the car that had just passed me has a pistol sticking out of the window, firing at another car ahead of it. Very clearly targeted.
Oh my god.
He takes a few carefully aimed shots, and then the car that he's firing at pulls off onto an exit. The dude who took the shots follows him around the exit. I'm not kidding, drifts around the corner, and then the windowless van follows both of them.
What the fuck?
Holy shit.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I'm glad you were okay, for God's sake.
My biggest concern was, in the moment I realized, okay, I can't just hit the brake because then someone's going to hit behind me, right? But I also can't pull off to the side because that, completely stopping is going to make me a target. I don't know what kind of situation this is.
Yeah.
So I just kind of tried to keep a steady pace and not be a moving obstacle. Okay, I am leaving out one small thing. I remember this was very peculiar, and I stayed really calm during this. Weirdly. I was surprised by it. I think it's because I grew up around guns, and so, seeing a gun is not a shocking thing to me.
I could understand that.
In the moment, I'm just like, okay, I need to not get shot. And I was just very focused on that, right? I think that when I'm in a situation where I have a singular purpose, I am very calm and can lock in really easily. I think that's why I like games that take my attention, is because they make me lock in, and I'm very good when I have a singular task. But when the second car drifted around the corner, I remember I had one thought. And it is inexplicable. My thought was, that seems gratuitous.
Jesus Christ, Fred.
Seems gratuitous.
You fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi'd in the middle of a drive-by?
Rolling from the window, shouting after the guy, was that necessary? All right.
Rude.
Not gonna lie, bro. Kinda cringe.
Look, all I'm saying is that this drift didn't seem to make him take the corner any faster.
Well,
you know what? I guess
they doing it.
That was style points.
It
didn't help him catch up. He wasn't taking the corner any
me.
faster.
If it didn't actually save any time, then it was purely to show off, and it wasn't even that good a drift. You didn't save any time with that.
No, it wasn't a great drift. It was impressive that he could do it in the first place, but he wasn't really saving time with it, that I can tell.
Well, maybe
I don't
he
know,
went to Dr. Mario's Academy of Driving Safety. I don't know.
I understand that this sounds like the most bullshit story.
No, I believe it. I believe anything you tell me, Fred. I'm incredibly soft-minded. Anything you say with confidence, I'm more than likely to believe.
So if I tell you about an ancient Chinese rocket launcher called Facing Both Ways, you'd believe me.
Frankly, I would just believe you.
That actually is that is real. Recently on stream, I went into a Wikipedia deep dive and I learned that the Chinese in the early thousands created early cluster munitions.
That's crazy. I believe
it's insane. How ancient are we? Yeah, early thousands. It kind of, and there were they discovered gunpowder, saltpeter, and then they quickly used that to make rockets. It's kind of insane. They invented something. I'm not even kidding. they invented a rocket launcher. What it did was it was a rocket that fired a tube munition, right? It was a rocket launcher that fired a tube munition, like, and it would launch, and after as it launched, it also started a timed mechanism. I think it was just a wick of a certain length, and after a certain amount of time after firing, another explosive in that rocket would detonate, ideally as the rocket is facing down, and it would fire a spread of arrows.
Huh.
Down at whatever it was aimed at. It's insane! It's like, I'm not even kidding. You can look this up. My chat can back me up on this.
Chat, is
like, chat, you remember this. You remember this. I am not gaslighting. There were people here who were there for that stream.
I feel like you're in this unique position, Fredrik, that, like, anytime you drop, like, an interesting, not well-known factoid, it just feels rude to question you about it. Like, yeah, you're gonna tell the down the rabbit hole guy that he's lying to you? Shut up!
Everyone's gaslighting me and saying, "Oh, I don't remember that."
Oh my god.
Y'all are the worst. I'm gonna scream. It wasn't Hwacha. It was not a Hwacha. Huolong Ling? Let me see. Oh, right. I also wanted to tell you, because I have the tab open, I was reminded. The Forever Winter uses actual real life tanks.
Ooh.
Yeah. At one point, a Merkava shows up.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's just like, huh, okay. It's just cool that they're using real tank designs. They have actual T-90s for the Russians. That's amazing. Could be placeholder. That's true. Is it Huolong? Huolongjing. I think. Wikipedia. Yep. Here we go. Huolongjing. Well, that was the text that describes these weapons from the early thousands. Let me give this to you guys. I'll put it in the voice chat. This thing. Just peruse that for a little while. It is bonkers. There is some majory going on here.
I believe that.
Tank Facts, you got here just in time. We got 10 minutes. And I am so nervous. Oh my god. Oh, it's starting to happen.
Don't be nervous.
Oh, don't be nervous. Yeah, you're gonna kill it. Don't worry about it.
Well, that's the thing is, like, I've already done it. Now I just have to see how people react. Also, I'd like to point out that the description reads, "Blonde twink played by Down the Rabbit Hole guy gets man rock hard. Real."
That is real. That is true.
That is real. That's very real.
I'm glad they included that from the production chat.
Was that in the production chat? Is that...
I believe so. I
think
that was one of the suggested titles.
The production chat really is a font of madness.
I peek in there sometimes, and it is just madness.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Raid message. Yeah, that'll be our raid message when we're done. Blonde twink played by Down the Rabbit Hole guy gets man rock hard real.
Many such cases.
So
some
true.
Some of the comments on it already from people who have listened to it especially have been funny. Let's see. Let me see. Hold on. Oh yeah, they're happy that you pushed through the disaster. You guys have been doing so well. I'm so proud of you guys. I'm so happy.
Yeah, we're really lucky to be where we are right now. I'm really happy about it.
I want to say that Parker's favorite genre is rock because, but that fucking nerd probably listens to Mozart for fun. Okay, actually, unironically, I have been I think it's because I've divorced myself from a lot of mainstream media for a while, but I'm actually getting to a point where I can enjoy classical music.
Classical music is good. I probably have a bit of a bias because I was an orchestra kid back in the day, but classical music does fuck, and more people should acknowledge this.
Yeah, it really fucks. Although there are some modern compositions that are really good. Have you guys heard Lento by Howard Skempton? Listen to it on your own time. Please, it is so good. One of the features is that there is no hard set in stone beats per minute. It's basically the instructions were, feel it out.
That sounds incredibly fun, but also probably a nightmare to perform.
It's very simple. It's a very simple orchestration, all things considered. I linked it in the voiced chat channel.
Hell yeah.
Turtleneck, and he looks like he's about to have a mental breakdown. Yeah, it's about that time for the best guy to show up.
Let's go!
Parker's existence is like one long mental breakdown.
Sorry, where's that we are under fucking attack?
Yes.
Hold on, I gotta.
He's with us in spirit.
There we go. Yeah, it's the last one Erndil posted in the fan art channel.
Oh my god, yeah, we are fucking under attack. I'm so mad.
Iconic Parker baby girl moments.
Correct.
Oh, by the way, to catch you up on what I've been chatting about, we chatted about the Forever Winter, which obviously, looks very interesting. But also, I saw Longlegs yesterday.
Oh,
how was it?
The horror movie starring and produced by Nicolas Cage.
Oh,
it was good. It was very good. It was too scared of itself to be really great. Like, definitely worth seeing. Above average horror movie, right? Like, good horror movie. I would go as far as to say it is a good movie. But it doesn't quite, breach the greatness. It doesn't explore its themes. It's too afraid that it's, going to confuse the viewer. It's a little too scared to really delve into some of its concepts deeper, unfortunately. It left me wanting the same people to try again. That's how I feel.
That is good, though, because at the very least, it doesn't make you say, oh, fuck these guys, they're, act frauds. It's like a swing and a miss, to me, is more interesting than just, oh, you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
The cinematography was beautiful. It was a beautiful movie. Gorgeous. And there were some design choices that were really good. I like that there was almost the only music in the meat of the movie that isn't at the very beginning or the very end is sung by Nicolas Cage.
What?
That's the only music. It's just him singing.
What was it good?
He's good. He's a good vocalist. He's actually pretty good. But it's the character singing, right? He's singing through the character, and it's this is fucking weird. So it was a weird movie.
And there's no other music, you said?
Not to my memory. There's no soundtrack. The soundtrack is ambience.
Fascinating.
it works. It builds, like, it's a very tense movie. I like, again, good movie. Very, like, good movie.
I'm gonna
Beautiful
have to
movie.
see it. There has not been a lot that would get me out to theaters recently. I just missed the premiere of I Saw the TV Glow. And that was the only thing I was interested in seeing in theaters.
No Country for Old Men did the same thing? Gotcha. Oh my god, we're like 2 minutes away.
I know. Horrifying, isn't it?
We need to... Oh, we need to figure out what's going on with our paradox, too, by the way, speaker.
Oh, yeah, your paradox is very funny.
Oh, boy.
We're gonna have to do some... We're gonna have to fix that.
But don't worry, Paradox will fix itself.
Oh, good.
Precisely
eventually.
when you want it to.
Okay.
Although, I will say, I have not actually been in a game, even when I hit, like, 10 Paradox when I played a Hermetic in your game, Speaker, I didn't ever get any of the really nasty backlash.
You will.
By that.
You will. You know. I'm sure.
The punishment is coming.
True.
You will regret that purchase.
True. You know, it's fine. It's fine. I'm going to be running a mage game that he's in very soon.
That is true.
Whatever is inflicted upon me will be remembered.
5 times my whatever. As the saying goes, the
5 times your whatever.
Yeah, the 5 times your whatever. Yeah, the famous saying, anything bad you do is reflected upon you, many score, manifold as you will.
So true.
They talk about that in the Color from Outer Space movie, which also has Nicolas Cage.
Well, I think it's the beginning. 60 seconds.
60 seconds to premiere.
Oh
my fucking god, everyone explode now.
I'm going to run the fuzzy monster outside so I can set in for this.
Okay.
Applesauce.
Applesauce real. Roshi's sitting by me right now.
Roshi. It is okay. Every time I hear Oda Roshi's full name, all I can think of is your dog Roshi, speaker, but like Odo from Deep Space Nine transforming into him.
That is a lovely way to visualize.
That is a horrific image. Thank you.
My evil dog, as well as my evil friend Odo.
Speaker D, what kind of tabletop game do you think you are performing in this establishment?
A very, very scary one.
I was assured that you would not be doing such anymore.
I am a recidivist.
I love Odo's, like, particular verbal quirks, like how he starts a sentence off quickly. Quark!
Well, Quark, it's time for you to give me the platinum chip.
God. I still need to watch DS9 because that is a reference everybody thinks my name is about, but unfortunately it's much more embarrassing than that.
When will you let me show you DS9? When? Set a date. I'll watch all of it with you. Please, oh god. I love Star Trek.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, it's time.
We got 2 minutes.
Oh.
Hold on, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. Oh.
Godspeed.
He's pissing. Confirmed he's
pissing. Piss boy.
Fredrik really pisses? No dignity.
Die.
No.
Alright. Alright. Speaking of funny animals. Oh no, I do not have any cats in the room at the moment.
Do you think he'll be able to do it?
What?
Make it here in time? Or will he be lost to history like so many others?
You know, one can only pray. We must send him our strength. Everybody in chat, send him your strength.
Everyone in chat that's ever pissed before.
That narrows it down.
Okay, I also got water.
Nice.
Your energy, the yellow glow of your light has brought Fred here.
More energy, more energy, more footwork, more footwork.
Not pig shit, energy.
Mm.
Me master, he blaster.
Alright, get ready. It's time.
Bonk.
It's time.
Oh yeah, straight to opening.
Oh, on that opening title.
This song is so good. I'll listen to it just on its own sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's still surreal to me that it's the song for my game. I love it.
Right.
Fredrik did such a good job.
Running a game with a theme song. What bliss.
I'm glad we cut out the second half though. Like,
yes. Alan.
Just a dream. Was that not dream?
these opening visuals are so good.
Was that just in my head? That's just not how it
I'm curious to see
There he
people's
is.
live reactions. Yep. No, that's
That's somebody else.
someone
but
else.
That's your
Yeah.
name. That's your name.
It is, yeah. You all will see.
how it feels.
So hard.
We should do some kind of fucked up group cover of this at some point.
Yeah. Old Fat Nuts Fred time.
Hello?
I'll tell you later.
Presented without context.
Oh my god, 1,200 people are already here.
Oh, let's go!
Are you kidding me?
No, we will never be kidding you. You are beloved
Yeah.
by the people.
Call of Wisdom, I would recommend it. Also welcome in. I know there's some new people here. Welcome in, you guys. People who are coming from the YouTube channel. I think we'll probably end up being quiet for a lot of it because there's a lot of talking. We don't want to talk over it. But
At least you'll be sharing the experience with us.
yeah, yeah.
That's the...
Okay.
All right, let's rock.
All right.
Peter Knickerbocker.
No, it's Parker.
Parker Knickerbocker. You've not lived your whole life.
Are you kidding me?
I forgot about that almost.
The hum of Norfolk, Virginia, is not as familiar to you as it may be to others. The large Navy ships always in dock. The skyscrapers never quite being worthy of their title. How would you describe your relationship with the city?
I would say the buildings, the blocks, almost feel like shackles. Because while in a heartbeat I would drop my dreams to take care of my parents again, there is that resentment that's still there. And the city itself has come to take on that prison characteristic. It may have been my parents that pulled me here, but it feels like the city that's weighing me down like concrete shoes.
And it's that same weight that you woke up with this morning. That same weight that followed you around on your daily business. That followed you around as the sun began to set and has followed you here. It's the beginning of your shift. at your parents' store, the Knickknackery. As the clock rapidly approaches the sterling time of 7 p.m., you respond to a supplication from your family to just watch after their store for a couple of hours so they can get some rest. Instantly, the familiar wafting of decaying things, of dust and tarnished brass, fill your lungs.
Something that bothers me about the smell is the sense of slow decay. So many of the things arrayed here are American antiques, and America isn't old enough to have things that are properly old. Maybe there are some artifacts that are old enough to be properly old, but everything here feels like it's still in the process of dying.
And there's no exception for the human occupant. At the desk, you see, in an old smoking jacket, the rotund form of your aging father, who usually would greet you with alacrity, with charm, with a smile.
I want to see how they drew him.
But right now, he's snoring rather loudly. And if you're wondering what that sounds like, it sounds like this.
I'll walk over to him and hold his nose closed.
And his blue eyes bolt awake, bulging with veins, and they look over at you and say, "Ah! My God, Parker! Don't do that to me while I'm sleeping."
You really are going full Orson Welles with this.
Why not, right?
You're the one who asked me to come in.
I did ask you to come in, but not to suffocate me. I was having the most sumptuous dream, Parker. I was on a water slide made entirely out of beef jerky.
How you have dreams like that in a place like this is maddening.
Well, it's easy. We're already surrounded by so much salt and aged meat and the leather. But it was a good dream, Parker. It was a good dream.
Well, you can continue it. Go rest, Dad. I've got this.
Very well. I would like to just let you know we're going to be having a rather important customer come in, which is the only reason I called you in this late. I'd see to it myself, but
Really?
I've got this surgery tomorrow, and
Usually it's just kids walking in and stealing stuff.
well, we make an exception. This person's come all the way from, I don't know, he says he's European. But he's got an interest in a few objects. I'd ask if you could just make sure that you give him a decent tour around the place. I do hate to bring this upon you. I mean, I...
No, Dad, it's fine. It's
All
fine.
right, all right. You said it's fine. You're starting to boil my cackles. Oh, you'll handle it, Parker. You always do.
I always do.
But you just need to understand, you're still... To me, I look at you and I see a babe in diapers still. And he puts a giant, meaty, clubbed hand on your shoulder. It weighs
That's a
on you.
good sound effect.
Like a large
Whack.
log. Campfire log. What a beautiful... Holy fuck, I'm so out of it. Weighs on... I'll be upstairs if anything... gets too much, or things set fire, if the man gives you
I
trouble.
will, Dad, I will.
You better be sure to holler for me, because you know I make time.
I will.
All right. Oh, it really was a delightful dream. Those sausages. And he wanders upstairs. Back way, talking
That
about
audio editing is so good.
Ah, yes. Another sausage dream.
Your father's been having a lot of those lately.
I
don't know. Maybe it means he's in good health.
Maybe it's Freudian.
What does that mean?
Don't worry about it.
All right. So, you find yourself alone in the empty antique store. Well, not quite empty, because your companions are all around you. Ventriloquist dolls hanging on ancient dressers, furniture that might as well be from the Roman Empire with how aged it is. Sure, America doesn't have a lot of history, but it doesn't exactly make it adverse to partaking in the history of others.
On the contrary, sometimes American objects have a specific sort of life to them.
Is there an object like that here?
Ooh. you know what? There is an ornate mirror that was clearly meant to mimic some European designs, but didn't quite get there. That's one that I like looking at. Sometimes I'll look at it and try to spot any new wrinkles to mark the passage of time.
And it's there for you. And in fact, its position makes you question how your dad got any sleep, because it's glaring straight at you. And you see the whole of your persona reflected back. Wrinkles and all. And I'd like to take this opportunity, Parker, to ask you, could you please describe yourself?
Parker is a lean fellow, a little bit wiry, certainly not a strong fellow. His thin legs have relatively tight-fitting jeans on them, and he has a turtleneck that goes all the way up just underneath his chin, and sleeves that wrap what seem to be concerningly tightly around his wrists, like they're restraining him. He has what appear to be calm eyes, a long face. His eyes seem sleepy at first, but there's an intensity behind them, behind that tiredness and that weariness. Oh, and of course, his round glasses. When you look at him from the side, his eyes seem tired, but when his eyes are magnified by his glasses, he seems very intense.
You seem like the kind of person that could really use a masseuse.
Yeah. And a drink. Never quite gotten to drinking, but always considered it.
Well, if there's one thing you can pick up right now, it's that habit. Your father's left a nice whiskey decanter on the desk. Clearly had been sampling it.
Weighing the decision. Oh, I have someone coming in. Maybe I need to be on my best behavior. And then I realize, no matter who this is, no matter what they could be offering, there is no way that the result of this conversation is going to change my station. I pour out a shot glass, and I just throw it back.
You throw it back, the acrid tang hits your throat like a fastly falling elevator. It tumbles upon rocks like a man.
Oh god, number go up.
From the side of Mount Fuji. Why don't you go ahead and make me a stamina check? What that is essentially you'd be rolling your stamina. In your case, I believe your stamina is 2.
Okay. Thanks for the raid.
And 6s are successes. This is just to see how you fare with the outcome.
Okay. 3 and a 5.
Welcome in.
No successes. You're not drunk at all. No one, not even you, could possibly get drunk on a single shot of whiskey. But it doesn't sit right with you, and you kind of instantly sort of regret it. It feels like there's a small war being waged in your intestines, and it didn't taste so good. So pushing the whiskey to the side for a moment, here among these faded glories, you find yourself sitting and sitting and sitting, waiting for the other shoe to drop. And it's at that time that the door shoots open like a cannonball as the bell at the top rings, shaking you awake. And you see, waltzing in is a man dressed ostentatiously. And he still looks like shit. See this tailored, immaculate, white suit. He's got impressive sunglasses, rings bejeweling every finger, and a big old white hat. He looks less like a man who's kind of come in wearing top-of-the-line stuff, and more like someone who's recently robbed a rather ostentatious hand-me-down store, like a Goodwill for the elite. But regardless of his personal visage, he makes the first move in speaking to you. Well, they told me this was a small store, but it's not exactly what I was expecting.
This is so
thought
good.
Even still, it'd be a little roomier.
We find places to store things.
It's the cost of storage out here. It's gonna be
the great hero.
You'd have to ask my dad about the specific financials, but more than we'd like
Less than it could be.
You're not Humphrey?
No, I'm his son. He has entrusted me with dealing with you tonight.
Oh, well, I guess he must have had a pretty good reason to delegate me. Walks up to you with a confident swagger, his boots making a sharp dig into the floor as he moves forward. He gives a bejeweled hand to you. Cyrus Carling.
Parker Knickerbocker. And, if I may say, I do not believe that you have been delegated. Rather, I think I may be his secret weapon.
You're a secret weapon? Are we at war?
I'm only exaggerating. I have some experience in archaeology.
Oh, you're an archaeologist. You know, that makes sense. I'm actually something of an archaeologist myself.
Really?
That's right.
So Parker at this point, like, he can't help just sort of continuing to eye his clothing. Can he tell anything about the specific clothing, like where it's from? Certainly, like, I'm looking for a pattern in the clothing.
I'll let you give me a intelligence etiquette check.
Sure.
Difficulty 8.
Okay.
So this means that your difficulty number is now 8.
God, he looks like shit. He's perfect.
One critical failure with 2 successes.
That's
so
correct.
I got 1.
You got 1 success. With your 1 success, yeah, I mean, like, you're able to tell some of this actually is designer pretty objectively, but the years are mismatched. Like, this designer suit was clearly manufactured sometime in the 90s and kind of probably got passed down between a couple of owners. He looks like a man building his outfit in accordance to the Macklemore school of thought. He looks very Novo rich, let's say.
Right. Do I recognize where he could have bought any of this? Specifically, he would have knowledge of other stores in town.
Yeah, actually, there is one store that he could have bought some of this on. The
99p store.
Madame Juilliard's
For
jewelry.
only 99p.
Okay. It's just a kind of local-owned jewelry exchange. They sometimes work with your father. They're not super duper prestigious, but you might have recognized one of the rings in the windowsill.
So, here's what I'm going to do with that knowledge. Since you're here, before we get to specific business, would you like to take a look around? And I will specifically guide him toward some of the antique jewelry that we have.
Oh, are you kidding me? I've got nothing but time. Let's go. Show me around, kid. I'll tell
That
you all
is
about
Sly Speaker.
whatever. And you can show me all of, whatever.
I will sort of take him over to the jewelry section.
Nothing but
and
time, you
give
little
him a
bitch.
little bit of background on
Nothing
each
but
of the little bits of
time.
jewelry that we have. Parker does have quite the memory, so he learns about all of the jewelry. This is something that his parents didn't do very much, but something that he introduced when he came in. The profits started increasing because he was able to tell the stories of all of the objects. Sometimes he would add a little bit of a flourish to the histories of these objects, but they would mostly be grounded in reality, or could have been real, plausibly.
One of the rings that you've shown him does actually seem to grasp his attention. It is a gold and silver ring with a large inlaid ruby. Now that looks impressive. Can I take a look at that?
Of course. What I will do is I won't hand it to him. I will present it in front of his face so he can take a closer look. I don't want him just grabbing at it.
He leans in and he takes a close look. He actually puts his hands to his sunglasses and he twists the lens. All right. I mean, it's impressive, but it's, run-of-the-mill sort of thing.
I suspect you are a bit more discerning than that, sir.
Oh, I'm a very discerning fellow.
This ruby was worn by one of the families that first came to America. It was from a German family who took their wagons and rode west, and then their descendants during the mid-1800s came back. We have a couple of books on the jewelry that they brought with them.
All right. Now here's the part where I ask you.
Okay.
Is that even remotely true?
So I'm going to say it was true that it was brought over. However, it's not clear if this made the trek there and back. It could have, but it also probably was left behind in New England.
Okay. Well, I'll be nice and I'll say, give me a manipulation subterfuge.
Okay.
Difficulty 6.
Okay. Oh, dear.
Well, here's the good news.
Okay.
That is not a botch, which is a critical fail. A botch only occurs if you happen to not get
I
any
love seeing
successes,
people.
but still rolled ones.
I see.
So
I love
it's
seeing
not
people
the worst.
speculating in the chat.
But still, that's no successes.
Everyone's
That
trying to
takes a
figure out
look
what
at you
kind of
against
mage Parker is.
wide smile. And he flashes.
Time they will know.
He's a specimen, that's what he is.
So this is a guaranteed relic from the Mayflower Society types, right?
Not necessarily the Mayflower, but one of the early families.
Right, the early families. Except for, here's the onion. There's no way that that jewel was cut any more recently than the 70s. And trust me, I know. So maybe the ring was. But come on. You can't fast sell me. I appreciate the effort, though. I think you're good.
Parker, at this point, just kind of... He crumples in on himself a little bit.
Oh, kid. He wraps a serpentine arm around you. Don't look so sour. Listen, it's the grind that gets you, right? It's the effort. I like it. I like a little bit of a hustle. Now, let me tell you something. Or rather,
Cyrus is
I'll
so
let you
slimy.
tell me something. You said that you're something of a, archaeologist?
To be honest, American artifacts, well, recent American artifacts, immigrant artifacts are not my specialty.
Well, what's your realm of expertise, senor?
Anything old enough to have completely lost its odor. Specifically, I found myself interested in what few remaining Native American artifacts there are, and some Egyptology.
Ah, now there's a good man. Listen, we need more people digging through those dirt. Let me tell you something. I've been everywhere, right? I've been in Helsinki. I've been in Osaka. I've been everywhere in the world. Those are essentially the only 2 places in the world, and I've been in both. So, listen.
God.
I get it. We need people of your talents digging through the dirt, finding this stuff. So don't get too crushed down and broken because I happen to see through your fast sell. And hey, let me show you something, kid. You'll like it. He reaches into his coat pocket, which seems to contain an endless amount of nonsense. You actually hear metal pinging amongst each other. You see it kind of go in a little deeper than it might suggest before he pulls out a Polaroid. It's a stone wall. Old stone wall. One that's been separated from what it's meant to be a part of and instead looks like it's in some kind of ritzy art gallery. There's a large circle bulging out of the wall. It looks high up, at least 2 men high. And I'd like you, if you don't mind, to go ahead and make me an intelligence academics roll. And this will be archaeology, so your 10s will count as 2 successes.
All right.
Oh, someone recognizes what it is in chat.
And say, come on over. And I'm going to sit down at the table and bring a light and peer down at it.
Yeah, sure.
Rev, hey there.
So
We're doing a watch along.
here?
I would actually say it's difficulty 5 because this is your realm of expertise.
Oh,
Okay.
this is my
that's
awakening.
1, 2, 3,
and
4, 5, 6, 7 successes total, minus the 1 from the crit fail, 6.
He starts to explain it to you, but you
I think we're winning.
already knew what it was before he gets far into
So
it.
what is it that was bulging at the top again?
A large circle looks almost like
Circle.
the
Okay.
lifesaver candy.
Okay, gotcha.
And-
So like a donut shape. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what this is.
Yes, this is a goalpost of that mysterious ancient Mesoamerican ball game. One that had been played long before Columbus set sail on his bloody voyage. And the wall has clearly been transplanted from its original space to your new friend's personal gallery. So this, I wound up having to get a team of people. We had to push it uphill, right? And let me tell you, they don't make those hills too kind down there in the South Americas.
Where is this now?
I got it in my abode, you know.
Your abode where?
Oh, I got it in my, actually, my yacht.
I see. So Parker just sort of goes straight-faced. This is
Mind Palace.
This is insulting to Parker. To him, these objects with history like this are practically animate, and whatever affection that he's had for this man has turned into a similar feeling that someone would have learning that they're a kidnapper. That is what this feels like. However, as I recall, I gave him poker face. So he is just going to keep a straight face, and he is going to maintain his interest. And he's not going to let on just how pissed off he is right now. Like, viscerally.
Let me tell you, it was a regular Fitzcarraldo out there. It was insane. Why don't you go ahead and roll me manipulation, subterfuge. Your poker face merit, if I'm not mistaken, will reduce the difficulty of that, yes?
It's so much fun seeing everyone
reduce your
guess what kind of mage he is.
Oh yeah,
This is so much fun.
Successes. He doesn't notice. Oh yeah, but listen, I got a boat full of that kind of thing, you know, lots of stuff. I usually don't really do too much with the Mesoamerican sort of thing. I'm more of a got my pedigree in other societies, but you know, I figure, you know, Virginia, it's great and balmy Virginia. I figure it's a good spot to start to enhance my collection. You know any good places I should be looking? Free estate dig sites. I might be willing to cut you in.
I'm afraid I have been a bit detached for a little while. You see, I've been working with my parents here for the last 6 or so years, and by this point, most of the dig sites would have rotated, and I just haven't kept in contact.
I understand. Well, listen, here's my card anyway, if you're interested. And he reaches
That's
out and
a lie.
hands you a rather nice-looking business card that proudly states Cyrus Carling, adventurer, historian, collector, archaeologist, Carolingian.
Carolingian.
Yeah. My pops got our family tree traced all the way back from a good old Louis the German.
You did such a good job of making him so insufferable.
Oh, thank you.
It was a real
naturally
bitch to get it recognized, I heard, but I don't know. That was a problem for great-great-great-grandpappy or something. Me, I'm happy just rolling in the benefits of an aristocratic upbringing. But really, I consider myself a citizen of the world.
So, what was it that you came into our humble shop to inquire about?
An excellent question. I'm gonna lay it to you straight, okay, kid? You guys got a grandpappy clock, and I'm buying.
Really?
That's right. Didn't your dad show you where it is? Said it was in the back, and you.
He didn't say anything specific. Come on, follow me. We'll take a look.
All right, I'll follow you.
Parker takes a forlorn look at the whiskey bottle and starts thinking about it again before leading them into the back.
All right, in the back, there's a few shipments, from your father. Stuff he's ordered, stuff he's sending out. But there's a conspicuous package in black wood, taped up, fragile, that seems like it could contain what you're looking for. And on the manifest, it confirms that. It says here, quite simply, Delamere Clock.
Dad, what have you been dabbling in?
All right, is this the thing? Is this the Delamere Clock? Is this the thing?
Parker like cocks his head, just examining it, and says, "I would have to guess."
Yeah, bitch! Yeah! Oh my fucking god, you don't know. You don't know, my friend. What was your name, Pablo?
Parker.
Right, whatever. I've been looking for this thing for
Pablo
years.
mentioned?
Oh my god, it's been running from me, dude. It's been running from me, dude.
What is it?
Time's been getting away from him.
So,
True.
back in the day. Why don't you crack that bad boy open? I'll tell you the history and you can look at it all pretty.
All right, so he goes ahead and starts prying this thing open.
You're able to get it open pretty easily. And inside is a rather intimidating massage. A dark mahogany. It's beautiful. It's certainly twice the size of you, but it's engraved with these gorgeous hand-carved vines, like it's some sort of open orchard, like there are burnishing fruit carved in trees, and along the side, everything, it seems like it's some semblance of life, fruit of the bounty of the earth. But upon closer inspection, it's no fruit at all. In place of each grape, apple and orange, and beautiful piece of delicately carved fruit, there is, instead of the bounty of nature, a death's head. In the very center of this grandfather clock, varnished with gold and what you can only presume as platinum, is some kind of cane with a head like a globe in the shape of Pangea. It seems like that's amid the workings of the clock. All right, kiddo, story time. Once upon a time, it was way back in the day. What does way back in the day mean to you?
He shrugs.
Right, well, it's even way backer in the dayer than that. Right? We're talking like, fucking...
I was fighting him at this point.
Times, okay? There was a guy...
Like, I'm not going to play into his hand.
His name...
I appreciate that.
And this guy was one cool customer, right? All the lords and ladies of all the land, they came thirsting for his advice because it was said that Delamere knew a rather intricate secret, that for the right price, that for the right supplicatory subject, Delamere could turn back the clock on you, could give you more life, more years. And buddy, let me tell you, people killed for that kind of bounty. This thing's found its way through medieval courts the world over. You name a country, it's been there, buddy. So long as that country isn't, past Central Asia. It's not been there, but it's been everywhere else. And let me tell you, it's one hell of an item, isn't it? You see, Delamere, he wasn't satisfied with just turning back the clock for some would-be nobleman. He would do the whole shebang. There would be pigeons and fireworks and whatever else he could get his hands on. Some great big show of winding back the clock. And that lasted him for a while, until people wisened up. They realized that they still got old, they still got liver spots. And well, poor old Delamere, he was, chained to a cross, set on fire, whole shebang, real bad way to go. But the clock stayed. And the legend stayed too. And I want to see this beautiful, majestic hunk of garbage in my living room. Because quite frankly, I deserve it.
Parker turns from him and begins more carefully inspecting the clock. And Parker starts examining the finer details, running his fingers over the mahogany.
You see, they said that Delamere couldn't do it, but some people, it's rumored, managed to make it work. Now, I don't know if you believe in any of that hoity-toity bullshit, but honestly, just the idea of it gets me going. So, now you know I'm willing to pay top dollar for it. Pretty good dollar, too. And quite frankly, I'm rich, I'm loaded, I've got the money. So, why don't, buddy boy, you name me a decent price. We'll haggle, we'll gaggle, we'll google, goggle, gaggle. And then, once it's in my position, buddy, I'll buy you the nicest drink I can afford.
Parker opens the clock, reaches in, grabs the cane. He examines it for a little bit, appreciating its craftsmanship. And under his breath, he allows himself to murmur, "You don't deserve this."
What was that?
No matter what you think of yourself, no matter what you've accomplished, you don't deserve this.
That's just like your opinion, man. What the fuck are you talking about? You don't fucking know me.
I would like you to come with me for just a second. The clock's not going anywhere. Don't worry.
You got a second. But I just want you to know something, kid. I don't cotton kindly to people trying to pull this shit on me. So whatever you have for me, Peter, better be something good.
He walks over to the front desk and picks up the Polaroid and hands it back to him. And Parker says, "What is this?"
It's a picture.
I know what it is. What is in the picture? What is it really?
What is it really? It's an ancient goalpost from some old-ass, indigenous ball game. And it's really interesting and of great historical and recreational value.
We agree on some points. But this isn't just an object. This was the dream of people. This was what people aspired to, but it also was just something daily to them. It's theirs.
Oh, come on, kid, you're killing me. Everyone aspires to everything. People aspire to become plumbers, you know? You ever seen that kid, what was he on the news, or some late night TV lawyer? He asked him to come to his birthday party? Come on. It's not that deep.
Parker walks back over to the clock and places the cane back inside of it. Turns to this man and says, "I need to speak with my father about this, but he is a bit exhausted right now. That's why I'm here, of course. I'm looking after the shop."
Oh my
We will
God.
discuss a price. I will discuss a price with him. It's clear that he knows more. I will see you first thing tomorrow morning.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Kid, there won't be a tomorrow morning. If you... do you understand how long I've been looking for this fucking thing? And every single time I've had it in my grasp, it runs away! And I'm not gonna let that happen. So I tell you what, I want you to imagine a number. Just pick a number. There's dozens of them. Even more than that, maybe. I want you to think of one of those numbers. I want you to give it to me, and then I'm gonna give you that amount of money, and then you're gonna give me the clock!
Oh, I couldn't dream of overcharging you, sir.
Then how about I give you a fucking $5 bill, and I tell you that if you don't sell this to me tonight, you're gonna regret it for the rest of your fucking life.
I doubt there's another regret that you could give me that I'd care about.
Oh, kid. You know what? I gotta say, I respect.
Was that a little
the
cringe?
I respect the attitude. I respect the ferocity.
Then take that respect and that carpet sample you're wearing and get out of here.
All right. The clock was one thing, you know. My Moby Dick that I've been chasing for years, that was one thing. And the picture, and the talk about dreams, you know. You know, I could take that. But then you go ahead and you talk bad about my outfit. And it's at that point I decide, you know what? I think I'm just gonna rob you. And he reaches into his jacket and he pulls out the strangest gun you have ever seen in your life.
So good.
This thing is
Yeah.
a revolver made out of revolvers. There are multiple chambers on a ring that oscillate underneath it. Strange wires come out of one of the handles into another device nearby the hilt, and he points it directly at you. So, kid, why don't you pack in the clock? I'll get my people to move it in, and then maybe you'll see a check in the mail.
What are the visual influences upon this thing?
This looks like someone made a Colt Python into a Desert Eagle and then hooked it up to a guitar amp, shrunk the guitar amp down, stuck it to the side, and then decided that drum mags were simply too stupid. It needed to be dumber. There's like a ring of like 4 different revolver shots that are there around. It looks like this gun is designed to shoot 6 times and then rotate. Shoot 6 times and then rotate.
Parker is unimpressed. This is embarrassing. Please leave.
Huh? Okay. So he takes the gun and he shoots you in the head. Or would you like to try to dodge, my friend?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
All right, so he got you with 3 successes, but you can go ahead and dodge, which would be athletics dexterity.
Well,
so with 2 successes and with your dodge roll, you are barely able to get out of the way of the worst of it. You find that this weapon instead just, it almost emulsifies part of your shoulder. All of the glass in this room shatter all at once, coming down in this sea of shards as he just pulls the hammer back. There's a... points that at you again. All right.
What is the condition of my shoulder right now?
Essentially, the flesh underneath it seems like it has bubbled and then burst out. Now, you're going to be taking 2 health levels of damage. That's going to bring you down to injured. So
yeah.
You are going to be -1 on all checks until you get that patch done.
Right, so Parker is gonna fucking cut and run.
Ready?
He's going to try to hide in the clutter of this back room.
All right, go ahead and make me a Dex Athletics real quick.
Okay.
Oh, that's rough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes. You start to run, and instead he just grabs you by the neck, and he lifts you up, and then pushes you against the box, against the clock, even.
I like you. I really do. I wasn't lying when I said all those nice things. But this isn't gonna go your way at this point. I hope you know. And the next person that comes down here, they're gonna get a double dose of what you just took. So how about you start working with me here, buddy boy?
With your neck in the grip of a man who represents everything you despise. In an antique store that you have always hated. With your shoulder raw and dripping blood. And your back against the very object this man would gladly kill you over. I must ask, will you submit? Or will you resist?
Parker is not a person who has historically had terribly much pride. But in this moment, he finds the strength to gurgle out a couple of words through the grip of this man's fist.
Fight,
and
white
the
boy.
words he chooses strategically are...
Eat shit! You can tell that made him angry. His eyes widen behind his sunglasses. His smile turns to a frown. A shame, kid. I really did like you. And as he moves his gun up, there's a sudden...
And he kind of takes a second.
Is that the clock?
I think so.
Supposed to be broken.
Huh. Well, anyway, I guess I'm gonna kill you now. All of a sudden, you feel yourself being ripped from this as ghoulish arms grab every part of the body and rip it backwards, careening back through some horrible dark void, occasionally pitch marked with stars, but mostly darkness until at last you are thrust forward. You are standing all of a sudden on a marble platform. In front of you, a multi-armed specter of death. This strange, spoon-like looking deity, this multi-armed freak, looks down at you with 10 gleaming eyes, and it looks deep at you, Parker, and it says...
April 22nd, 2020. You have the time.
Oh, yeah. He looks at his watch. 7:43.
You observe the last generation to find the secrets of history, to find and unlock the secrets of history.
It makes these strange noises, these strange, unfathomable noises, such twitches around, and you find yourself in this insane, opalescent, glowing hellscape, and then finally, the eyes interlock, all on you. They veer backwards, like segmented sheets, extending out into a flower. And in the center is a death's head. And it's that looks down and speaks to you.
Parker Knickerbocker, you have made history your hobby. You have made it your passion and calling. The secrets of the world lay bare for you to discover, and yet you languish in an antique store. Why?
Parker thinks for a moment, and he replies, because the same thing that animates my passion for historic objects is the same thing that drove me to return to my parents' antique store, to look after them, to care for them, because there is value in what came before us, and it is important to show care for it.
You lie! You are no caretaker. You live for the adventure. You live for the dreams you have abandoned. You do not find the bliss in your task. You find it a city of shackles.
He stares at the ground wordlessly. He looks at his hands, and he notes every wrinkle in them. He curls his fingers inward and clenches his fists so tightly that he wonders if his palms will begin to bleed. He looks back up And he nods, wordlessly.
I release you, Parker. But only on a single condition. I will give you your life and more on a single condition. To recognize that you are Mount St. Helens. You are Vesuvius and Lassen Peak. You are the thing buried in dirt. And you must rise. You must rise. Collector! We name you Collector! Will you rise?
Yes.
Then rush forward. And know my name is Earth.
And all of a sudden, the strange pillar, the strange platform you've been on, it begins circling and spiraling and circling and spiraling, and then all of a sudden, in this gleaming flash of light, your eyes awaken with an energy that you haven't had in a long time, and you find yourself no longer in the grip of the man who now is on the floor, his gun broken, his glasses askewed, looking at you, his yellowed white suit now aflush with soot, and you with a staff in your hand. And a few moments to do whatever the hell it is that you want.
Parker looks down at this man, steps over him, squats down, looks at him, and says, I think you will be the first.
Hold on a second, kid. Hold on a second, kid. I've been through what you've been through. I know what you can do right now. I understand you in a way you don't. You kill me, you lose that.
Parker reaches his staff out, places it against his forehead, and the man turns to rough stone.
There's a flash which that well-suited man is now locked to the floor of that antique store garage. Everything about him gone.
Parker looks into the eyes of the statue and says plainly, you are about to bear witness to the greatest collection that you have ever seen.
Thank you for watching this episode of the Norfolk Wizard Game. We hope this episode has brought you down a rabbit hole. Down, down, and further down still. The character of Parker Knickerbocker is performed by the unfathomable Fredrik Knudsen. Speaker D to storytell. Speaker D go back to Grug Cave. If you enjoyed this session, follow us on YouTube at Brava Alphabusa, or consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/Alphabusa. There you can find sneak peeks at upcoming Ogre Opening projects, such as Hunter the Parenting, Half-Life Zero Viscosity, and of course, the Norfolk Wizard Game. Thank you again for watching. Grug watch other video now.
What a bit to end it on.
Yeah, Grug. Strong Grug bit.
I'm clenching my teeth for Carl.
Oh, come on,
What do you mean, and it's not over yet?
That didn't go how I was expecting, but I'm chuffed. I'm pretty chuffed.
I hope you enjoyed it.
That was... I think the improv rule of saying yes served me well.
Yes, absolutely. I must admit, I did feel a little rusty here compared to others, but I think this was fantastic.
I'm rusty as well, so
yeah,
I hope that I was a decent player. I know that I was a little reactive.
You were delightful. No, and you're
Okay.
going to be learning the system. No, and I this was really fucking cool. Like I thought this was awesome, and you know, I'm really excited for Parker. I hope I gave you what you wanted.
Yes, absolutely. I feel like the character has some proper. I was hoping that during this, I'd be able to find impetus for Parker, and I think that we did.
Oh yeah. Oh, I really like that. I like the direction we wound up in. I think it's psychotic.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm here for it. If you want, I could give you a suggestion as to how to build into the idea of turning people to stone. I would consider taking a dot out of mind or spirit and putting it into life. And I think that, like, with life 3, matter 3, prime 2, you can turn people into stone. So you'll be able to work up to that.
Okay, I'll move spirit or mind into life. Yeah.
Yeah, because I wanted to give you stuff for time, and I think your affinity is prime, which is creation. And
Right.
so I wanted to center that, but I also didn't want to just like give you, I am the Forge God. Like that's boring. I wanted to give you something unique and something that I think would suit you and your stylings, and I do hope I delivered.
Oh, are you fucking kidding me? I was like, I felt so. I've always been the GM, right? Like I'm always the one who's like weaving these stories together, and like it took a lot of effort to sort of tamp down my pride and let someone else be the story weaver. Because I'm like, oh, I hope that I'm like living up to it as the player, right? But that's not necessarily what it's about, and I have to swallow that. And in some ways, the arc of Parker during that scene followed my arc as well, swallowing my pride long enough to like know what I want, and I'm like, yes, I and I want to just bask in this.
Oh yeah. I fucking like it. So I would like to ask again. Did you have an idea for what your avatar would be like?
No.
Okay, great. So that was your avatar that you just
Yes.
met. I will leave it to you to tell me the kind of thing that you would like it to be, or if you want me to just completely control it and just be like, hey, this is what you got, let me know. I wanted something abstract enough to potentially serve many roles, which is why I went full abstract for yours.
Oh my god, still has 1,600 people listening.
No, I appreciate it.
Insane.
I would love to see where you take it, but I feel like in this, Parker has been at war with himself, right? Like he has a sense of duty and of obligation, right? He's a good little boy, and now he's been given permission to chase what he wants, what he really wants, to let that desire take hold, no matter what it is. And in this case, he loves archaeology. He loves like ancient things, and he values them, and he wants them because nobody else will appreciate them right. He is like an abusive lover to these objects.
And I dig it, and I really like that because by starting in such a dark place, right? Or at least like, you know, Parker's like a good kid, but he's clearly been putting himself last at everything.
Yeah.
And now I feel like he's going to get his Spider-Man 3 asshole Parker moment.
Yeah.
This is his stop recording.
Oh yeah.
Hello, hello, hello.
God damn it.
This is Cole coming at you from an undisclosed location after I had to escape due to my inexhaustible many horrible war crimes. Now, in this episode, we see some stupid fucking librarian or something, I don't know, who has an alcoholistic drinking problem with his father, Orson Welles. He decides to be an antiquarian in his little house in Norfolk, Virginia, when suddenly something stupid happens. Of course, a man comes in with a big hat and a gun. And then horrible stuff happens, and magics and H.P. Lovecraft. One thing that I have to say that I really liked in this episode was, of course, the many, many bright lights that caused me to have an epileptic fit. And, of course, one thing that I didn't like was how the speaker man, he said the wrong word in the beginning. Negative points indeed, my good fellows. In general, I will give this episode a 54 out of 64. Bye.
Thanks, Carl.
Thanks, Carl.
Thank you, Carl.
Mad
puts the
Cyrus's
MILF in
gun
Malfeasance.
reminded me of the whiz-banger the way
Wait,
it looks
I
straight out of
I
Pimp
missed
My
the Carl
Gun.
review. Did he like it?
No.
I think so. Was it 54 out of 64?
Oh, that's terrible.
That's a pretty good. That's
pretty
only
good.
10. That's only 10 out of max. Okay, all right. I think that's a decent rating. So that was your awakening. Jesus Christ.
Man, I'm looking back and I'm like, I feel like I could have
Salute, that
done
was
better
magnificent.
when he was denying Cyrus.
No, you did
That
perfect.
I feel like that was almost a little cliche. Some of it was cliche.
Don't get in your head, man, because there's so much shit that I think I've done, and like not just as a storyteller, but it's like, oh, this is kind of cliche. It's not. Don't overthink it. Don't drag yourself down to the dirt. Your character, I think, Parker, is especially stand out amongst our crew, and all of us have wonderful characters. Yours is just like, when I was playing your Awakening, more than anyone else, I was like, oh, okay. Fredrik understands mage.
I think
Fredrik
that,
is going to be down for this shit, and we're going to like.
I was given the opportunity, right? I feel like I was really given the opportunity to interact with it as well, right? And I think that the Awakening just ended up lining up really well with Parker as a character as I wrote him, right? Like, the Awakening for him is more than just an it's more than just an more than just a gaining magic for Parker, right? It's not just, oh, I'm doing the same thing but magic now. No, his Awakening is permission for him to finally
Peter,
like break
the Awakening is
free.
here.
Yes.
Right, to be the person he always was on the inside, and that his parents and society had tamped down, and who that person is vile and disgusting and awful, right? Like, he is
certainly
deep
showed
down.
through.
Yeah, he is deep down a vile person, and his Awakening is his, like, it's his coming of age, but his age sucks.
And
His age sucks.
I'm really interested in Parker because I want to see, as that deeper, ugly part of himself begins to rear his head, right? Mage is a very dynamic game.
I'm gonna type something at you real quick, something about him.
Oh yeah, send it to me.
Okay, so I'm just gonna type it to you, and I want to know what you think.
I think we're all mages.
That is true. I also believe that.
Fuck, dude, I don't know what
the
y'all are
game.
talking about.
Well, Sybil was essentially almost a vampire, so who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
Sybil's
I
pretty-
think Bill is a Prothean. Protean? Protean, that's the one.
Protean.
Protean is... What is Protean again?
They're like the
Vampire
Frankensteins.
discipline.
Wait, it's no, I'm thinking of something
I
else.
think Prometheans.
Prometheus, that's the P word!
Proteans are what are they? I'm thinking, what is Protean? Oh my god, there's Protean Hulk, the magic card. There's something called Protean. But
I think it's not. That was something.
I
Marcus
am
Mason
thinking. You're
character
right,
had.
Noel. I am
Vampire
thinking of the discipline of Protean.
Okay, speaker. That's my thought for his direction after our last session.
Oh, you fuck. Lovely.
Oh, now I'm
Lovely.
scared.
Oh no, did Fred just write you the entirety of the script of the nut check?
No, he just sent me a fucking Unabomber package is all.
Well,
Manifesto?
there's a
You can't put
little
that
bit
on
more. There's a little bit more.
And Ted Bundy's manifesto? I didn't even know he had one.
Ted Bundy didn't have a manifesto. That guy was just a freak.
We learned about it. You don't know.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It makes sense though, right? It makes sense.
Absolutely.
Like, especially after everything that's happened.
I think so. I think they've gone through quite. I mean, it's difficult when you're in someone's vicinity for an awakening. To
Right.
not wind up in some way attached to them, I think.
Right.
Their journey.
Right.
It's like, you know, it's an important thing. It's very important. And funny, haha, funny, haha. But I hope the chat, especially those of you who are not so familiar with World of Darkness or Hunter the Parenting or Mage the Ascension most of all, have really enjoyed Parker's Awakening and hopefully the others as well. I think that all 4 of my fucking incredible players knock it out of the park in their awakenings, and I'm so thrilled and happy to have this.
Aw, speaker. And speaking of, we have all of them now.
We do.
Yes, I got out of my
Indeed.
day job. I only got here like 20 minutes ago. So I got to the tail end of Parker being talked to by a scary thing, and then hearing them talk about the game they just played for 10 minutes, and then Carl, and then
yeah,
Carl,
and then Carl.
But then someone sent me this picture of a very good-looking Sphinx cat, and I felt very empowered.
Oh.
Baby.
Oh, I want to
Yeah,
see.
we only have 2 days until our next session. I'm
Yeah.
scared. Fredrik, you're scaring me.
Oh, that's good.
Look at that.
That's a good Sphinx cat. Here, let me show all of you.
That's so kind of you to say.
It's a baby.
He's a fucking turkey.
Baby, that is a fucking turkey.
It is.
Oh my god, it is.
Turkey.
Turkey.
Oh my god. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, everyone. While doing this. It was scary. I'm like, oh, was I good? And then I saw someone in chat was like, oh, they got like the perfect match between visuals and voice. And I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
My heart.
I think that this was wild. I think this awakening, all of the awakenings, are all extremely beautiful, and they're all super based in their own way, and I can't. I'm very proud of them, and I'm very happy, and I love you guys. Oh my god, shut up, man.
Oh yeah.
Fredrik Knudsen. Oh god,
Who fucking did that?
Someone's getting bounced. Ow!
Ow! Shut the fuck! Ow! Stop it!
Ow!
You motherfucker! For those wondering, that is the one sound effect that we have in the Norfolk Wizard game server.
Don't worry, I'll add another one soon.
Good.
I should add more, shouldn't I?
Is it Carl making a gurgling sound?
No, we have too many of those.
Oh, okay.
How many Carl gurgling sounds do you have?
Odo, you're in the production chat. You know just how many we have.
I have not ever jumped into the voice call, but now I'm
bring it close to your right ear.
Oh, I hate that.
It's so
bad. We had to take out the other one, which was a dentist drill. It was horrible. I yelled at them to get rid of that one.
Bring it closer to your right ear.
Just bring it closer to your right ear.
We have entirely too many fucking sounds in that server, and frankly, we need to destroy all of them.
Oh yeah, I have a.
Fun wasn't nuked.
I have a couple of them, like this one.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love this one.
I didn't hear it.
Where it cuts off is the worst.
I actually didn't hear anything.
That's because you are not baptized.
That's correct.
True.
Bitch.
True.
Oh, wait, what are we?
Shaw.
Lovely night out.
You should play On an Island to this live Twitch stream.
It's a nice evening.
Speaker, can you please play On an Island to make Alpha immortally angry?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Where's it? Oh God, On an Island. Let me find it real quick.
It's under the production chat one. It's got the little picture of an island.
On an island in the middle of the ocean.
Beautiful.
He's gonna be so mad about that one. Did you know he unlisted that video?
That's funny.
Oh my God, did he?
He did, and it doesn't matter because I saved it.
The collector.
Evil.
Ah.
I'm not going to post it because it's very old, and I will let him live with that shame. But someone has to keep him honest. We know where we came from. It's poison.
Oh my God. Okay, I think I'm gonna close up shop on stream. But I just want to say thank you all for being here. Erndo, I will show you. I would like to show you a game. After we finish stream, I showed it to the rest of the crew, but I think that you also should see this.
Oh God.
A game that is currently in development that looks very promising. That I want to play with you guys.
We shall see.
But yes, everyone, thank you so much for hanging out for this. There was no way that I wasn't going to watch the debut for this, and I'm glad I got to share it with all of you guys, and with you, my Norfolk wizard gang.
We are you are. I'm your tormentor, but you are the Norfolk wizard gang.
But everyone, thank you. Oh, we need to do one thing. There is one thing we haven't done. We need to check art.
Oh, true.
Art. we need to check art. Because we check art from last stream usually, right? There's a sketch page that summarizes last stream from Starry Feathers frequently. Oh, I don't think that they had one for last stream. That's okay.
Well, while you do that, I'm gonna go prepare spaghetti because I'm tired.
I actually think we're good.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, Starry wasn't going to be here, right? I remember in the pre-stream chat they said that. So yeah, that's about it. I am going to... Okay, who am I going to raid? Who are we going to bother?
The Jackson is,
Minerva, she's great.
It'll be very, very disappointing if
We can raid Minerva. There's... Yeah, there are a few options.
Raid Min.
Poking.
Oh, Zoran is streaming.
Yeah, Zoran's streaming too. We raided Zoran last time, actually.
Okay, all right.
Raid Min. She's also
Min.
Min is based.
Oh, okay.
Min.
Yeah,
Wait, am I not following Min?
You should. She is very cool and a very cool artist.
There. Party Demoness.
She's doing an art stream today, I believe.
That's correct, right?
Yes.
I'm not fucking it up. Yes. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go bother Min. Good suggestion. Okay. Everyone, thank you for hanging out. I will see you all. Tuesday's the plan. Although I might end up streaming a little bit this weekend, depending. We'll see. No promises, but, later in the day. Unplanned. Oh, Jessica, we will have a Discord soon. We are setting up an ASTRALINE Discord, like a public ASTRALINE Discord. So there will be one. So follow and you'll be able to get into it. Although, if you're one of those people who joins Discords just to, like, shill, probably not. Don't. Might be a bot. Yeah. If someone comes in with a first-time chat and they just are like, exclamation point Discord. We should make our command not Discord. So that we don't get bots in. That actually is a thought.
Yes.
You should commit numerous atrocities.
Agreed.
Also that.
For recreational reasons. Also, your chat is dying because you haven't mentioned something about your big fat nuts. I don't understand.
Oh, yeah, Odo, I was gonna tell you. Okay, so... Because Odo hasn't heard why I'm called Fat Nuts Fred.
I also haven't heard, I should mention.
Okay, so... Do you remember my video about the Per Cat Cafe?
Yes, that was actually the first video of yours I watched.
Yeah, you remember how crazy Diane Kelly was, right?
Yes.
How she would go on Facebook tirades about people that she didn't like and make some libelous statements sometimes.
Yes.
Well, after I posted my video, she discovered me. And she was not happy. So she made multiple Facebook posts talking about how she was going to send her cats to tear off my balls and just my genitals in general.
A measured response.
Yes.
Of course.
Right.
Of course.
And at one point she said that my balls are so small that they would feed a family of 5 ants for 1 trillion years.
What?
It's a
Now-
very peculiar statement.
Yes, I think that she is known for going on wine benders. Like, she'll just drink and drink and drink and drink. Like, she's an alcoholic. I don't know if she still is, but she was, according to people around her. And I think that she was trying to combine, like, ants will eat your balls for 1 trillion years and your balls are small. But she ended up with your balls are so small they would feed a family of 5 ants for 1 trillion years. And of course, immediately you think 5 ants, it's not very many ants, but 1 trillion years.
It's quite a few years.
That's a long time.
It's pretty long.
So,
it's like longer than the universe.
Yeah, right. So the question is, at that point, how big would my balls have to be to feed a family of 5 ants for 1 trillion years?
Oh, please
and
don't do the math.
Oh yes, one of my patrons did. And
1 trillion years is a lot.
they figured out that in order to feed, assuming a couple of things, right? There are some assumptions that you're making in here, but with reasonable assumptions, to feed 5 ants for 1 trillion years, my balls would need to be so large that I would need 7 oil tankers to cart them around.
And he does.
And I do.
He does.
Yes.
That's why it's taken so long for you to go back to Austria.
Right. And
We have
yeah,
seen the Fred
floating them across the ocean takes a while.
What do you think happened with the Ever Given, huh?
Yeah. Blocking up the Panama Canal with my nuts.
Was it the Panama? It was the Suez Canal.
Aren't you so
Excuse
glad,
me, the Suez Canal.
Odoroshi, that we listened to the voice of chat and have educated all of us on this new metric of the rate at which ants devour Fredrik's balls?
I love to learn new information. I love to learn all sorts of new information, especially those detailing the dieting habits of a family of 5 ants. And balls, of course.
And
Yeah,
always
balls.
You know I got you, chat. You know I got you. I'll get that.
Were we doing something?
Yes, we're raiding into Min. What was our raid message going to be again? Does someone have it saved? Did I copy paste it? I did not copy
I don't think
paste
you
it.
said what it was going to be.
We did earlier in the stream, and I know, yeah, Blonde Twink, played by Down the Rabbit Hole guy, gets man rock hard. Real.
I'm sure she'll
That's our
appreciate
raid
that.
message.
I'm sure that's perfect to come in here with.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Yeah. Everyone, thank you very much, and I will see you again Tuesday, most likely. I will have an actual schedule next week. Promise. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
The Dark City.